Have the wild few no-shows because of the inclement weather, but most of them came. And rest, I might add.
Slight misfire. I see a few umbrellas in the crowd, and there's going to be some slipping out there. Artificial turf, even when it's dry, and it's wet tonight. So there will be some, and of course, that's to the Bears' advantage because the Rams play on grass. At the Coliseum, see that much artificial turf and nothing this slick.
Style kicker, Raphael Septi started the year on the New Orleans roster to kick it off. And the Bears will drop Art back in the middle near the goal line with Bashnagel. And I believe it's across the way. Those are the three men. Then they have the three men in the up position at about the 18-yard line. Septien, then the wind blew the ball off the tee, and so he'll have to set it up again. Johnny Musso across the way. Musso guarding the left corner. Bashnagel on the near side, and Art Best waits at the goal line, and again, the wind blows the ball off the kicking tee. Bob Thomas had last week in the New Orleans game. All right, we're all set to go. Monday Night Madness here at Soldier Field in Chicago. Septien puts the foot into the board, kick drifting to the left side, and it's by Musso to the 20-yard line. About an 8-yard return on a Carl Eckern, a backup linebacker for the Rams, made the tackle on the play. So the Bears will have decent field position to start the first possession of the ball game just across the Chicago 28.
And now it is raining. With the kickoff, the rain returns.
Well, we'll see how it hampers the passing. Bob Avellini was 18 of 37 last week with 7 drops. A slot to the near side. Rather, who had a great ball game last week, lining up inside Scott. Quick pitch to Walter Payton. Tries the left side, has a hole. He's in the 35 and pulled out at the 38-yard line, and a penalty flag comes out. It may have been a face mask grabbing penalty on the safety, Bill Simpson, who reached out with a left arm and threw down just as he was about to break the sideline. Boy, he had some good running room on a quick pitch to the left side.
Somebody cut in from the right side of that Ram defense. I think it was Isaiah Robertson coming in from his right side, and Payton did a good job outside him, and that's got him the game. However,
it gives him the first down. A face mask grabbing penalty inadvertently against Bill Simpson, the free safety, giving the play additional 5 yards, and the Bears have a first down across the Chicago 41. So Walter Payton picking the 8 to retain his rushing leadership in the NFL tonight. Slot right, again, same play to Payton, off balance, keeps his footing, the drive, and his gang tackled and thrown back. Some great footwork by Walter Payton. Jack Youngblood, 4 Rams on the play. They never did get him down to the AstroTurf.
He looked like he was on roller skates, didn't he? He started to slip on turf, but he kept his footing.
A gain of 4. It's second down and 6 at the Chicago 45-yard line, and Payton now has 15 yards and 2 carries. Good average of 6.3 a carry into the game tonight. Scott wide to the left and Rather to the right. Deuce backfield of Payton and Harper. Behind that down and 6. Quick pitch now to Harper. And he runs right into the linebacker, Isaiah Robertson. Going to be a big loss. We'll see where they mark the ball, but he was actually flung down at about the 35-yard, and they're going to move it back about 39. 6 yards for on his first carry tonight, and he needs 47 yards and now 53 yards to remain in the top 10 in the NFL in rushing.
Robertson, 7th year All-Pro.
39, it'll be third down now and 12 yards to go for the Bears on the very first possession of the ball game. Schubert is in, bring in a play from the bench. He lines up in a slot to the near right side. Deuce backfield, Avellini faced with an obvious passing situation, but he's going to pitch it to Harper. And he slips, trying to make the cut. He's going to lose 2 more yards. Again, running into Isaiah Robertson, the outside. A loss of 2 on the play. It'll be 4th down and 14. So the Bears will get off to a quick start. All of a sudden, in reverse. And the ball now at the Bears 37-yard line. And in the punt is Bob Parsons, who's having an excellent year. A 40.4 average and 16 kicks. But the net of 37.3 leads the league. Back in single safety is Billy Waddy, a young man out of Colorado, a wide receiver who can fly. There's a high booming punt by Parsons, a beauty. Waddy back to the 15, gives ground, coming to the near sideline, gets back to the 15, to the 20, and is finally up in it at the 25-yard line. He caught it at the 15, having to run back for the ball, gave ground to about the 10, then came to the near sidelines and cut back upfield where Johnny Musso finally spilled him. A 10-yard return of a 48-yard Bob Parsons punt against the wind.
And Waddy will stay in the game, a wide receiver. He's a rookie out of Colorado, 4'4". He will replace Ron Jesse, who went out with a leg injury last week against San Francisco season with knee surgery.
And now I think they're going to bring this back. They're going to bring it back, and we're going to have another punt. I don't know whether the Bears had an illegal man downfield or not. We'll have to wait for the official call, and it is going to be marked off against the Bears. Well, that nullifies a fine 48-yard punt into the wind by Bob Parsons. Well, Gary Campbell released too quickly and got downfield beyond the line of scrimmage before the ball was actually airborne. That was about 3 years ago, and it's resulted in a lot of 5-yard penalties. Now we'll wait for the Parsons punt at the LA 30, and it's 4th down 19 at the Bear 32. Parsons awaiting the snap from Dan Neal. It's a low one, but he gets it and just gets it away. High hanging kick as the Rams had the block on, and Waddy runs under the ball, juggles there to the fourth in Los Angeles territory. Oh, 2 Rams blew right up the middle, and somehow Parsons got that kick away between them. Wendell Tyler really put a rush on. It's only a 25-yard punt, so the Bears did indeed lose some yardage there, 18 to be precise, and the Rams will have excellent field position as Namath brings them out of the huddle. The line of scrimmage will be the LA 43-yard line. Slot to the right. Waddy inside of Harold Jackson. Namath the quarterback. Wing one setback behind Namath. In front, and to give to Capoletti, trying the left side, gets a block. It's across the 45 to the 47-yard line where Don Reeves, the middle linebacker, makes the tackle on the play. Reeves in his 4th season, 62, was recruited by Jack Bardi when he was assistant there. He had 32 tackles, 20 solos to rank second to Gary Fensick on the Bear defensive side. It's 2nd down and 6. He picked up 4 on his initial carry. Jackson comes wide to the near side, wide to the right. High formation. McCutcheon and Capoletti, the running backs behind Namath. Namath play action fake. Down the right side. Waddy, great catch, knocked loose. 15-yard line. Knocking the ball away was Allen Ellis. As Waddy reached up high over his helmet, snagged the ball for an instant, and Ellis from behind hammered it loose, incomplete.
Waddy had him beat to the outside, and Ellis' only chance was to hit him as soon as he touched the ball, and that's what Allen did, and he made a great play out of it. Waddy looks good. He's fast. 4-4. Their cornerbacks are going to have their hands full with him tonight.
Reeves out, and Mike Spivey, their 2nd-round draft choice, a rookie from Colorado, in as the 5th defensive back for Jack Bardi. Jackson wide to the left. Wide to the far right side is Waddy. Deuce backfield now on 3rd down 6. The Rams at the LA 47. Namath back to pass. Stays in the pocket. Being rushed. Throws over the middle. A wobbler caught by Waddy on the crossover. Breaks away at the 30. To the 25 to the 20 on the near sideline. Ball knocked loose, but it goes out of bounds. And the Rams will have it at the 16-yard line as Ellis jarred it loose, but it came out.
First missed tackle of the night. Wayman Bryant missing Waddy about 10-15 yards back up the field.
A 37-yard pass play from Namath to Billy Waddy. And the Rams have the first scoring opportunity, and they mark it between the 17 and 18-yard line. We'll call it the Bear 18.
Allen Ellis came all the way across the field that time to make the tackle.
Waddy wide to the right. Jackson wide to the near side. I formation. Namath 1 of 2 in the passing department and almost 2 out of 2. The ball was a wobbler, but it went off right up the middle goes McCutcheon. Inside the 15, down to the 13-yard line. Billy Newsom making the stop on the play. Lawrence McCutcheon, who has gone over the 1,000-yard mark, and this is his 5th in the NFL. A great running back out of Colorado State. Wally Chambers was in there. Now Rideouch comes lumbering out as Wally Chambers is in the pass rush now for the Bears. It's 2nd down and 6 at the Chicago. Waddy standing wide to the far right side. Jackson standing wide to the near left side. Deuce backfield. Namath gives to McCutcheon up the middle. Inside the 10, the 5, down to about the 3-yard line where Doug Buffone brings him down. It'll be 1st and goal to go. Some trap blocking by Mack and Saul up the middle opened up a big hole, and the Rams have a 1st and goal at the Chicago Bear 4-yard line.
One thing about the Rams, Namath no longer has to go to the air. He only goes to the air when he wants to, not because he has to. And he didn't have that luxury the last 2 years with the New York Jets.
All right, both ends are in tight. Waddy as a wing to the right side. Charlie Young is in there to block now as the 2nd tight end. The give now to McCutcheon, who slipped and has nailed at the 5-yard line. Doug Plank seeing the play, and McCutcheon's feet shot out from under him as he tried to turn it upfield, and Plank was right there to nail him for a yard loss at the Bear 5-yard line. 2nd down goal. Good to have Doug Plank back in there. McCutcheon was going to leave. Now he rejoins his team in the huddle. Charlie Young, a former All-Pro, and could well be again. This is only his 5th year from USC. It's a tight end on the left side. Nelson on the right. We have a wing right. Deuce backfield, 2nd and goal. Namath, long count. Play action fake. Drops back to pass. Has time. Cranks at the right corner of the end zone. Incomplete. Intended for Capoletti, who slipped and fell going after the ball. He was covered by Alan Ellis, and the ball was thrown about 2 yards beyond him. But Namath did have plenty of time to seek out a receiver. Now it'll be 3rd and goal from the Chicago 5-yard line. Namath now 1 of 3 for 36 yards, and that was the pass to Waddy, who set up this first scoring opportunity. Now Young leaves, and Jackson and Waddy come back in. Cullen Brandt, who was in there to block, leaves. Waddy wide to the right, Jackson standing wide to the near side on 3rd and goal from the Chicago 5-yard line. The Bear home crowd here trying to rev up the defensive unit. Namath back to pass, has time, looking, whips it high over Waddy's head, incomplete, deep in the end zone, right under the... Again, Namath had plenty of time, but the secondary covered up very well that time, Brad.
That's right. He didn't find anybody to throw to, and he had to throw high because Alan Ellis had that man very well covered. He was all over him like a blanket, and Joe may have thrown that ball away intentionally. He had to throw it high, though, to have any kind of a chance of completing it without the interception. So the Rams go for a field goal.
Septien is 4 out of 6. His long one, a 33-yarder. Roland Cromwell will hold, and the ball will be spotted at the 10-yard line, a distance of 23 yards to the upright. There's a snap. The ball is down. The kick is up, and it's good. A 23-yard field goal by Raphael Septien. So the Bear defense tightens inside the 5 and force the Rams to go for a field goal with 9:32 left to go in the first period. It's 3-0.
Your nearby Buick dealer proudly introduces the 1978 Buick Regal Sport Coupe with turbo power. There's never been a car like it. This new Buick Regal Sport Coupe is something to see, something to drive, and you can do just that at your Buick now. When you slide in behind the wheel, you immediately discover a new world of comfort and luxury. The interior is handsome, richly appointed, intelligently laid out. Unbelievable leg and knee room, front and back. The new rectangular dash panel puts all controls at your fingertips. Now then, start her up. Check out Regal's performance. Buick's exclusive new, even-firing, turbo-powered V6 engine is everything the car magazines say it is. There's just never been a car like this amazing new Buick Regal. A lot of science, a little magic. That's the 78 Buick Regal Sport Coupe. You'll want one from your Buick dealers of Chicagoland and northern Indiana.
Well, a 3-0 ball game. The drawn first blood on a 52-yard, 8-play drive that took 2 minutes and 48 seconds of playing time in the first period. The big play, of course, the 36-yard Namath pass to Waddy, 23-yard field goal by Septien. There's a booming kick this time by Raphael. Deep in the end zone and bringing it out is Art Best. He's at the 15, running behind the wedge at the 20, hits stacked up at the 25, still surging ahead and gets 3 more yards up near the 28-yard line. Boy, there was a big pileup. About 3 Rams and 3 Bear blockers all came together at the 25, and Best from behind kind of bounced off and got another 3 yards before Carl Eckern brought him down.
It's because the Rams cut him. He was a 6th-round draft pick with the Los Angeles Rams. He doesn't feel they gave him a chance. And so Jack Pardee has him returning kickoff tonight. Jack's giving him a chance. It's through the Rams.
At the 27-yard line, that was a 29-yard return because Best 2 yards deep in his own end zone. So the Bears virtually have it at the same point they did in their first possession. Slot left, I formation. Rather in the slot inside. Avellini with a long count. Looking over the line, the Rams defensive alignment. Back to pass. Avellini pumps once, throws over the middle. Almost intercepted, deflected it is. Picked off by Isaiah Robertson on his feet at the 35, the 25, the 20. Down the sideline and skids out of bounds. Inside the 10 at about the 8-yard line. Avellini slipped on that pass, threw it high. It was tipped by one defensive back and picked off on the deflection by Isaiah Robertson.
Bonnie Jackson had it go right off his chest and right into the arms of Isaiah Robertson, and the lucky break for the Rams that time, although it actually should have been picked off by Monty Jackson. He had it right on the numbers. And Avellini had time that time. There was no reason for that pass to be thrown as badly as it was.
Well, now the Rams have it first down at the Bear. Where are they going to mark it? Oh, 15-yard line. He apparently was pushed out. He had actually carried inside the 10. So the Rams have it at the Bear 15. High formation. Jackson wide to the near side, Waddy wide to the right. And the tight end, Terry Nelson, fires off the line of scrimmage. Contact is made with Doug Buffon, and the Rams will draw a 5-yard illegal procedure penalty. And that'll put them back out to the 20-yard line and make it 1st and 15.
Well, that's the first big play of the night, and it goes in the Rams' favor. So they're with their second possession. They're knocking on the door. They're at the Bears' 20-yard line, but they do have a 1st and 15 situation. Rain coming down pretty good, but it's sort of a, what would you call it, a heavy drizzle?
Yeah, it's a little heavier than a drizzle. It's not quite a downpour. Good crop rain. If the weather was right, the time of year was right. All right, Jackson standing wide to the near side. Waddy split wide to the right. Deuce backfield, 1st down, 15. The Rams from the Bears 20-yard line, and on a draw, it goes to Capoletti, runs up the middle, Bears to his right, and gets to the 13-yard line. Doug Buffone pinning him down. A gain of 7. It'll be 2nd down and 8. Make it 9. They spot it at the Bear 14-yard line. Now here comes Wally Chambers back in. The biggest lift right now the Bear team could have is to have Chambers blitz through and sack Namath. It's 2nd down, 9-yard line. Now Waddy wide to the near side. Jackson split wide to the right as they flip-flop their wide receivers. And Namath hands off to McCutcheon. Tries the left side and gets dumped at the 12-yard line. Gary Pensick in there low along with Wayman Bryant to make the tackle on the play. So the Bear defensive unit is tightening up. It'll be 3rd down, 7 yards to go. The Rams at the Chicago Bear 12-yard line, thanks to the early interception by Isaiah Robertson, a linebacker. Robertson, first interception of the year, but the 6th for the Rams secondary.
Passing situation. Bears have got to get a rush in on Namath. They're giving him too much time back there.
Joe is 1 of 4. Jackson standing wide to the near side. Wide to the right is Waddy. Namath back to pass. Rush this time. Throws it out there. Knocked loose at the goal line. It's complete by Allen Ellis as Waddy was waiting for it. He was open. The ball was just a fraction second late getting there, and Ellis jarred it loose with a great touchdown-saving play.
That was man-to-man coverage that time as the Bears had a safety blitz on, but the Los Angeles Rams did a great job picking up Doug Plank coming through there. So Ellis was man-to-man with Waddy and hit him just at the right time. Otherwise, it was 6 points.
Well, again, Nolan Cromwell, who's a defensive back, a rookie out of Kansas, who was a wishbone quarterback last year, is holding on the play, and Septien will try for his second free-point of the night. A 29-yard kick. It'll be spotted at the 19. The ball is up, and it is good, and the Rams have taken a 6-0 lead. It could be worse. 2 field goals by Raphael Septien. And with 7:49 left to go in the first period to score, the Rams 6, the Bears nothing. Well, the Rams have gotten 2 quick chip shots off the right foot of Raphael Septien. One set up by the interception, and they have taken a 6-0 lead. Art Best again waiting at the goal line with Musso and Baschnagel guarding the side. And Septien rifles a wobbler down the middle. Best makes a shoulder-high catch at the 6-yard line behind the wedge to the 25. Still on his feet across the 30. Knocks one Ram down and finally gets up in it at the 35-yard line. Good power run right up the middle behind the wedge, and McLean and Eckern finally bring him down.
Crowd's with them now. Crowd's putting up a big roar, just like the fans in Philly did for the Phillies before they folded. The Bears won't be folding, huh?
You would have to bring that up. At the 30 line, a 28-yard return by Art Best. Now the Bears have 1st down, wide to the left. And Avellini hands off to Payton, who slips, still on his fist, caught from behind, spun down at the line by Dave Emmendorf and Jim Youngblood. The middle of Payton just about topped like a Bears at their own formation. The left side, and it's Larry Brooks at the Bear 41. 3rd down and about, well, we'll call it a short 3. The Bears have picked up 1 first down, and that was on the initial play of the ball game when Payton ran for 8 and got an additional 5 on a face mask grabbing penalty on Bill Simpson. Rather comes wide to the right. Split far to the left side is James Scott. Deuce backfield, and Avellini will throw. Sets up, quick square out, caught by Craig Lyon, the tight end, stepped out of bounds at the 49-yard line. A bit upset that he hit the sideline. Elmendorf yanked him just hard enough for him to step out of bounds at the Chicago Bear 48-yard line, but it's a 1st down. That's Latta's first catch in 2 weeks, his 7th of the year. Well, on at the 49, Brad. 1st down for the Bears near the midfield stripe, their best field position tonight. They trail 6-0 on 2 short field goals by Raphael Septien. 23 and 30 yards. Slot to the left now. Rather is still in there. I formation. Avellini looking left and then the right. Quick pitch now to Peyton. Peyton trying to turn the corner. Youngblood chasing him. And he's hit and knocked out of bounds as he crosses the midfield stripe into Ram territory. Rod Perry, with help from Isaiah Robertson, the right side linebacker, knocked Walter right into the Ram bench over there. But he picked up about 2 on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 8. The ball at the Ram 49. And so the Bears are in L.A. territory for the first time tonight, trailing 6-0.
Rams have sort of a contained defense. They try to funnel everything into the middle as much as possible. That's one reason they're a little soft in that line. They do try to contain in the middle there.
Schubert wide to the near side, replacing James Scott. Rather in the slot. I formation. 2nd down 8. The Bears at the Ram 49-yard line. Avellini again. A long call. And on a draw, he gives up the middle, and it's Roland Harper. Inside the 45, a fumble, and the Rams have it, I believe. Yes, they do, at the 46-yard line.
Isaiah Robertson again. He's the guy that got the interception. Now he recovers the fumble.
Well, what a night he's having. That was too bad because Roland Harper had picked up a sizable chunk of yardage, about 6 or 7 yards inside the 45, and somebody punched that ball loose, and it squirted behind him. And Isaiah Robertson covered at the Ram 46-yard line. The second turnover tonight. We're still in the first period.
Well, that's something the Bears haven't done too much of, and that's turnovers. They came in with a +1 giveaway takeaway, and now they are -1.
Slot to the right. High formation. The Rams have it back, leading 6-0. Long count by Namath. Play action fake to the deep man. Back to pass. Long one down the middle. And it's caught by Harold Jackson. He's up to the 17-yard line. First down. Allen Ellis made the tackle on a long, deep slant in. Jackson high in the air to catch that Namath ball, and it was right on the money. And Namath has not been rushed yet tonight. A 37-yard pickup.
You get the idea they're working on Allen Ellis tonight?
Well, he's been involved in several of them. That's Jackson's first reception tonight, his 6th of the season. First down for the Rams at the Bear 17-yard line.
4th time they've gone in his direction.
Jackson standing wide to the near side. Waddy is put wide to the right. Deuce backfield of Capoletti and McCutcheon. They give them McCutcheon, searches the middle and gets inside the 15 to the 14-yard line. Ron Rideout made the tackle along with Wally Chambers. It'll be 2nd down and about 6 yards to go. Make it 7 as they spot it right at the Bear 15.
Well, the Bears have held down in here twice in a row now. The Rams having scored the first 2 times they've had the football on field goals. Now they're at the 15-yard line, 2nd down and 8 to go.
Jackson again, wide to the near side. He'll be working on Livers. Wide to the right is Billy Waddy, the rookie out of Colorado, going against Allen Ellis. Deuce backfield. Namath back to pass. No faking this time. Pump now dumps it out the left flat. Hauled in by Capoletti on a great catch. He gets inside the 10 and is knocked out of bounds on the near sideline by Wayman Bryant. And that's the first time that Namath has had to go to the secondary receiver. And he threw it in front of Capoletti, who made a nice lean to catch the ball in full stride. They'll mark it at the Bear 8-yard line. First down and goal to go.
4th catch for Capoletti this season, former Heisman Trophy winner from Penn State in his 4th year with the Rams.
Waddy wide to the right. Jackson again standing wide to the near side. Deuce backfield. 1st and goal. The Rams just inside the Bear 8-yard line. Namath hands off to Capoletti, who breaks one tackle of Don Reeves, and Reeves is injured on the play, and Capoletti gets inside the 5 to about the 4-yard line. Doug Plank came up with his free safety position along with Billy Newsom and Wally Chambers to wrestle him down, and it'll be 2nd and goal inside the Chicago 5.
Yeah, Reeves should have had him at the line of scrimmage. He closed the hole nicely, but couldn't make the grab and wound up getting a foot in the stomach.
Jackson again coming wide to the near side. Wide to the right is Waddy. That's the long side of the field. The ball nearer the near hash mark. Namath hands off to McCutcheon. Tries to slam it up the middle and gets down to about the 2-yard line. Veering to the right. And it was Doug Plank making the tackle in the secondary again with help from Jerry Myers and Don Reeves. 3rd down and goal, the Rams at the Bear 2-yard line. And here comes Charlie Young in replacing Harold Jackson. They'll go to the double tight end alignment. 3:45 to go in the quarter, Brad. It's 6-0. The Rams already on 2 short-range field goals, and now it's 3rd and goal at the 2-yard line. Both ends are in tight. Waddy has a wing to the right side. Deuce backfield, put behind Namath. Three-way Joe with a long count. They give the McCutcheon touchdown as he veered off the left side. He started to go up the middle and then quickly changed directions behind Tom Mack's block and slithered into the end zone from 2 yards out, and the Rams have made it a 12-0 ball game. Doug France threw a key block on that play, and with 3:28 to go in the first period, it's more misery for the Bears. 12-0 Rams. Except the end will try for the extra point. Nolan Cromwell again will hold. Now we're waiting here. Now the official places the ball down. There's the snap. The ball is down. The kick is up, and it's good. And the Rams have taken a 13-0 first quarter lead over the error-prone Chicago Bears here at Soldier Field with 3 minutes, 28 seconds to go. They went 54 yards in 6 plays. 13-0 Los Angeles.
I'll tell you, the rain isn't making it any easier on this crowd.
It's starting to come down rather hard now.
13-0 in favor of the Rams, and they have turned two Bear turnovers into a total of 10 of their 13 points. Bears are missing tackles again tonight, and there is a critical penalty that cost them about 30 yards.
Well, they'll get it at the 9-yard line. Clipping on the Bears. Scott wide to the left, Rather standing in the slot to the left. I formation. In the final stages of the first quarter, the Rams lead it 13-0. Long count by Avellini. And to give now to Walter Payton, trying the left side, and surges ahead out to the 15-yard line. Some good inside blocking by Noah Jackson and Ted Albrecht, and behind them was Walter Payton, and he carried to the 15. Larry Brooks, the right side defensive tackle for the Rams, made the play. Roland Harper also picking up a key block on the situation. It's 2nd down and 4, and Payton now has 27 yards and 6 carries. The Bears have 2 first downs. The Rams have picked up 4. Scott wide to the near side. Split wide to the left is Bo Rather. Deuce backfield, tucked in tight behind Avellini. Line of scrimmage, the Bear 15. 2nd down, 4. And they give to Walter Payton. Big hole, and then he's caught from an angle and dumped to the 18 just as he was about to step free. Cody Jones got him from an angle after they had trap blocked a nice huge hole on the right side with Danny Piper, Reeve Sori, and Dennis Lick working. They spot the ball. Well, we're going to wait and see where they do spot it. I think they're wiping it off after each and every play.
There's a flag down.
Well, it appears to be against the Bears. They're dropping back again. That's right. Gene Barth, the official, talking it over with the defensive captain, Jack Youngblood, the left end.
It's going to be holding on the Bears.
Well, that'll move them back half the distance to the 7-yard line.
I think we've seen this before.
Offensive holding on the Bears. Danny Piper, the center, apparently the man guilty of the infraction. Now with 2.5 minutes left to go. In the first quarter, the Bears have a 2nd down and 12 facing them, trailing 13-0.
Well, really in the season for reruns, isn't it?
Wide to the near side. Scott, wide to the left is Rather. Deuce backfield. Now the linebacker, Brzezinski, drops off the line. Avellini back to throw in his own end zone. Being rushed. Pumps once, dumps it out in the right flat to Roland Harper at the 5-yard line. 2 men to beat, won't go anywhere. Gets back to the 8-yard line. Jim Youngblood with help from Bob Brzezinski hitting him down. And Avellini narrowly avoid being sacked in his own end zone as Cody Jones had overrun him on the play. And Avellini pumping once, twice, finally dumped it out on the right flat, completing it for no gain.
Dangerous pass over there, and once Harper got the ball, he had no blockers. There were 2 Ram defenders there, and if you throw to the far sideline like that.
Oh, we got something going between Freddie Dwyer and Ted Albrecht, and it's a penalty, apparently, against the 15-yarder against a personal foul against Freddie Dwyer, the all-pro defensive end, as he and Albrecht were exchanging some unpleasantries down there after the play was over, and the Bears have a break and a first down at their own 23-yard line.
Talk about pennies from heaven, huh?
Yeah. 25 yards and penalties against the Rams so far tonight. Slot left, Deuce backfield. Avellini with a call on first down from his own 23. They give to Harper, looking for the left side, straight arms one man and cuts it up across the 25 to the 26-yard line. That's Roland's first gain tonight. He'd lost yardage his first 2 tries.
They were ready for Harper last year as well. He got only 8 yards at the Coliseum, while Walter Payton ran for 145.
Well, he is back to 0 and 4 carries tonight. He'd lost 8 at his first 2 tries and has gotten it back now. Brian Bashnagel in the lineup. Isaiah Robertson made the tackle on the last play. It's 2nd down, 7. The Bears at the 26, their own 26. Slot to the left side. Payton and Harper in the deuce with Walter on the right side. Long count by Avellini. They give to Harper. Eludes one man, gets up over to the 30-yard line and is brought down. A nice ankle tackle by Jim Youngblood after Harper had eluded one man right at the line of scrimmage and broken up field for about a 4-yard gain. It'll be 3rd down coming up now and 3 yards to go for the Bears, who desperately need an offensive drive here, trailing 13-0 with 1:18 and counting left to go in the first quarter at Soldier Field. Scott wide to the near side. Bashnagel splits wide to the far left side. High formation. Payton the deep man behind Roland Harper. Now the Rams bring almost 7 men up into the line. And Avellini back to pass. Throws a long one down the near sideline. It's headed for Scott. He's got it. He's going to score. He's at the 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Chicago Bears. On a straight fly pattern. Scott outran the cornerback and goes 70 yards for the bomb. Rod Perry was the man that was playing him up tight to the line of scrimmage in a bump and run situation. And Scott just outran him down the near sideline, and Avellini laid it right on the money. Man-to-man all the way that time because the Rams were blitzing the Bear offensive line, and running backs did a good job picking it up. They gave Avellini the time. He threw it out there, and it was just a foot race between Scott and Perry, and Scott got out in front of him, and Avellini laid it right in there in this rain against the wind, and the Bears are on the scoreboard. They're going for the 7 points. 13-6 now with 52 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Bashnagel will hold. The snap is high, but Thomas gets it up and through. 81 yards in 4 plays. And Thomas, now we've got another flag down there, and Thomas is upset, having to be restrained by one of his teammates, Brian Bashnagel, and we'll see what this is all about. It may be against the Rams. It is. And the Bears will have the penalty yardage in their favor on the ensuing kickoff. But the score right now, the Rams 13, the Bears 7. Well, how quickly things change around. A 70-yard touchdown bomb from Avellini to James Scott, who simply outran the cornerback, Rod Perry, and the Bears are right back in it. I'm not sure what that penalty call was, but the Bears are going to tee it up at their own 35-yard line.
Well, Monday Night Football sure brings out the best in them sometimes, doesn't it? I was going to say what the Bears need is for lightning to strike, not literally, but figuratively, and it did right there in the person of Bob Avellini.
Bob Thomas hits it down the middle. A wobbler coming to the near sidelines, and it's Cappelletti at the 15. Make that Cullen Bryant. Gives ground. Runs to the far side. Eludes one man. Gets across the 25 and the 27-yard line. A little bit of jitterbugging there by big Cullen Bryant, a running back out of Colorado, who a couple of years ago, in fact last year, led the entire NFL in kickoff returns. And Art Best is developing into a solid special teams player for the Bears, made the tackle on the play. And now the hometown crowd revved up for the Bear defensive unit. First down for the Rams at their own 26-yard line, about a 9-yard return by Cullen Bryant. Jackson wide to the near left side. Waddy standing wide to the right. Deuce backfield behind Joe Namath. Rich Saul, the center, up over the ball. Namath takes the snap. Play action fake. Back to pass. Goes a long one down the middle, trying to get it back. Knocked loose by good Plank at the 28-yard line on a straight fly post pattern right down the middle of Speedy Harold Jackson, and coming across to knock it away was Doug Plank. Incomplete, 2nd down 10. Namath went right to the bomb immediately.
Yes, they did. Livers had the receiver, and Plank was back there to help him out. Plank pretty much plays a center fielder role in that Bear defense when they're in that situation.
There was a penalty flag thrown, and we'll wait now, and apparently it's going to be against the Rams. It is. Offensive holding. Another 10-yard mark off against L.A. that moves it back to the Rams' 16-yard line, making it first down, 20 yards to go. And the Rams now have been penalized 40 yards here in the first period. 34 seconds left to play in the first quarter. 13-7, the Rams lead. Now they're going to line up in a slot to the near left side. Waddy inside of Jackson. The first time they've done that. The backs are split about 5 yards behind Namath. Capoletti and McCutcheon, the two running backs. And Namath drops straight back to pass. Gets a rush from Chambers. Throws it out. Caught. And stepping out of bounds very coolly on the near sidelines, Harold Jackson, with Livers covering on the play, and they'll mark it at the Ram 26-yard line. Just a square out as they were watching for the deep one, and Jackson had the sidelines all to himself.
Chambers got into Namath that time. He took him down. He bowled him over as he got by Tom Mack. Tom Mack playing left guard opposite Wally Chambers, who's been in and out tonight.
They mark it at the 25. It's second down 11. The Rams in their own territory. Waddy standing wide to the right. Jackson standing wide to the near side. Again, the running backs are split. Second and 11. Namath straight back to pass. Chambers is knocked down. There's a long one down the right sideline. Open is Waddy, and he's got the ball, and it staggers out of bounds at the 32-yard line. And had he been able to maintain his balance, he would have scored on the play. He got way, way behind Allen Ellis on that play.
Way behind him, and Namath has gone against Ellis now at least 5 times tonight. That time the Rams were double-teaming Wally Chambers to keep him out. They used Sal the center in addition to Tom Mack. Waddy, though, with 4-4, just got behind Ellis, that's all.
A 42-yard pickup, and they mark it at the Chicago Bear 33.
He had Ellis beat by about 7 yards on that play, and fortunately for the Bears, staggered out of bounds, as you called it.
Wide to the near side is Jackson. Waddy standing wide to the right, and the Rams are marching again at the Bear 33, and Namath back to pass. Looking, over the middle, tipped away, incomplete. Intended for Capoletti, who dropped it, and then got a little cursory elbow from Doug Plank as he went by. Kind of banged him on the helmet a little bit. Billy Newsom put a rush on Namath, but Namath just simply threw that one a little bit high.
I thought Newsom might get called for roughing the passer that time. It seemed to me that it was pretty close.
Jerry Myers in on the last play leaves as Jack Pardee continues to rotate his front four defensively. We now have Newsom, Chambers, Rideelch, and Hartenstein in there across the front four. Second down 10. The Rams at the Bear 33-yard line. Jackson wide to the near side. Waddy wide to the right. Namath going to the air early and often tonight. Namath gives. And up the middle is Capoletti inside the 30, down to the 26, maybe the 25-yard line. Making the tackle, Doug Buffone. Some good trap blocking on the right side by Dennis Hara and John Williams. Williams and France, their two starting offensive tackles, both playing at less than full strength tonight. Well, the first quarter ends here at Rainy Soldier Field in Chicago with a score. The Rams 13, the Bears 7. McConnell along with Brad Palmer back at Soldier Field on a rainy night on the shores of Lake Michigan. It's 13-7 in favor of the Los Angeles Rams over the Bears as we get set now for the second period. The Rams have it at the 26. It'll be second down and about, we'll call it a short 3. And the rains are really coming down now. Slot to the near right side. Namath passed for 136 yards on 5 of 10 in the first 15 minutes of play. And he's back to pass again. Swings it out in the right flat. Incomplete. Intended for Harold Jackson. He was covered by Plank and Livers. And it'll be third down and about 3 yards to go at the Bear 26-yard line. Make that fourth down. I'm sorry. Fourth down. So the Bear defense is held again, and in now to try for his third three-pointer of the night is Raphael Septien. He is hit on 23 and 30-yard field goal attempts. Cromwell will kneel down at the 38-yard line, or 33-yard line, a 43-yard kick against the wind, a 17-mile-an-hour wind out of the south. There's the snap. The ball is down. The kick is away, and it's plenty of distance, but it is wide to the right. He misses against that 17-mile-an-hour wind, and that may have a big factor on that play as the ball stayed wide to the right. And so the Bears will get the ball at their own 26-yard line, trailing 13-7. The Rams had marched at 48 plays, or 48 yards in 5 plays. I'll be all right.
That's a tough end of the field to kick a field goal. It's the south end, it's the bowl end of Soldier Field, and the wind tends to swirl down there. Can't blame Namath for wanting to go to the air, though, because only Seattle has given them more yards in pass defense than the Bears.
Slot to the right, I formation. The Bears now have a chance to move the ball and, who knows, take the lead. Avellini with a long count. Quick pitch now to Payton. Moving to the right side. He cuts back as there's no place to go, and he gets snag tackled at the 25-yard line. Cody Jones was there.
So was everybody, but about 2 people.
Larry Brooks and Dwyer, 3 of the front 4 were waiting on him, and the Rams did just what they intended to do that time. They shut off the sweep, contained him, and Waller had no place to go. A loss of a yard, 2nd down 11 at the Bear 25.
If Payton's going to get yardage tonight, I think he's going to have to get it up the middle off the tackles.
The Rams are probably as tough against the rush as anybody in the NFL. 2nd down, 11. The handoff goes to Harper, it appears. He veers off the right tackle slot and gets about 3 yards to the 28 for Cody Jones, the man who had to step in and replace, or try to replace, Merlin Olsen at that tackle position. A gain of 3 for Roland Harper, and he now has picked up 7 yards tonight and 6 carries. Payton is 26 for 7. 3rd down and 8. The Bears at their own 28-yard line.
Of course, he's flanked by 3 good veterans, Jack Youngblood, Larry Brooks, and Fred Dwyer.
Now they put the 5th defensive back, Pat Thomas, into the lineup. He had been starting at left cornerback in place of Rod Perry prior to tonight's ball game. Perry had been dinged up. Scott wide to the near side. Split wide to the right is Bashnagel. Fake draw, back to pass. Avellini steps up, throws a long one down the middle, intended for Scott. He's behind his man. He's got it. And he's still on his feet. He's going to score. He's at the 10, the 5, touchdown to the Bears beside it. A great catch by Scott, who out-battled Pat Thomas and Rod Perry for the ball. Juggled it, caught it, stayed on his feet, and stumbled into the end zone. Another bomb by Avellini with a 17-mile-an-hour wind in his back. He laid it up there, 72 yards, and Scott has caught 2 touchdown passes here in the first half against the Rams. 1 for 70, and now 1 for 72 yards, and we've got a tie ball game. Oh, man. Spectacular catch. It looked like Willie Mays in 1954 in the World Series. Went up in the air and over the shoulder grab. Unbelievable. Well, Scott's first 2 touchdowns of the year, and what touchdowns they are. Thomas to try to put the Bears ahead. Bashnagel will hold. There's the kick by Thomas. It's good, and the Bears have taken a 1-point lead at 14-13 over the Rams here with 13 minutes and 20 seconds left to go in an explosive football game here at Soldier Field. Monty Jackson, the defensive back, is the deep man now, awaiting Bob Thomas's kickoff. And he hammers it high and deep. And Jackson will take it 3 yards deep, fumbles the ball, picks it up, and he'll down it in the end zone. A yard deep as he dropped it, and then decided to put it down right there. So the Rams make that. Wendell Tyler was back there, number 26 instead of 28. Wendell Tyler was back to receive that kickoff, and so the Rams will have it at their own 20-yard line. 1st and 10, the Bears have exploded on 2 touchdown tosses to James Scott, who has caught 2 passes, both for touchdown, and 142 yards.
I guarantee you the crowd doesn't mind the rain so much anymore.
What rain? Waddy wide to the near side. Jackson standing wide to the left. There have been more bombs thrown here tonight since July 4th. Long count by Namath. Deuce backfield of Capelan and McCutcheon. They give to McCutcheon. Trying the right side. Cuts back in. Angles upfield and gets dumped at the 24-yard line. Doug Buffone making the tackle on the play. 2nd down and 6 coming. The Rams. McCutcheon, on a play designed to come to the outside, decided instead to cut it back in. He did it rather gingerly. Apparently, the Ram running backs are fearing for their footing here tonight on the AstroTurf, which has got to be a bit slick, but it's certainly not hampering the receiver. 2nd down, 6 yards to go. The Rams at their own 24-yard line. Jackson wide to the left. Waddy standing about 5 yards wide to the near right side. Namath back to pass. Quick square out. And Jackson makes a dive for the ball and makes the grab at the 30-yard line. Right at the marker. Over on the far side, Virgil Livers covering on the play. But they'll give them those 5- and 6-yard advances all night if they have to avoid the long one. 1st down as Namath picked up exactly 10 yards in 2 plays. Let's pause right now. This is WBBM Radio in Chicago. 1st down for the Rams at the 30-yard line. Namath sets up deep to pass. He has time over the middle. Incomplete. Tipped and dropped by Gary Fitzik. The ball was intended for the tight end, Charlie Young. He couldn't handle it as it splattered off his right hand and tipped up in the air, and Fitzik got a piece of it but couldn't hang on. Namath 6 out of 13 for 142 yards. 2nd down, 10, the Rams at their own 30-yard line. If you joined us late, you certainly missed an exciting football game so far.
I guess the Bears came out looking like they did a week ago against the Saints, but then Avellini hooked up with 2 bombs to Scott for 70 and 72 yards, and the Bears lead it 14-13.
Jackson wide to the left, Waddy standing wide to the near side. This backfield, second down 10. The Rams on their own 30-yard line. Namath again the throw. Being chased by Myers, throws just as he's hit, incomplete. Again, it's Charlie Young, the tight end, and a heavy crowd dropped the ball at the 46-yard line. 3 Bears were there. All 3 linebackers were surrounding him on the play. Buffone, Reeves, and Bryant. And Jerry Myers, the young defensive end out of Northern Illinois, puts the hammer on Namath just as the right arm came forward and the ball shot upfield.
That's at least the 3rd time Namath has gone down tonight, but so far the Bears have yet to sack him. They're just coming in a little too late. They aren't putting that much pressure on Namath. I think they're putting a little more now than they were earlier, but the pass rush is non-existent in the first quarter.
3rd down, 10 yards to go. Again, Waddy standing wide to the near side, Jackson put wide to the left. The Bears want to blitz Reeves. Now he backs away, drops off the line. Namath back to pass on 3rd and 10. Has time, throws it to the right side. Incomplete, overshooting his tight end, Charlie Young again. He has gone to Young 3 straight times. Young missed the first one off his hand. The next 2 were thrown incomplete. Gary Fensick was covering on the play, and what do we got here?
That time Namath was throwing into a strong zone. The Bears had 3 defenders around the intended receiver.
We have a penalty here. That's what we have against the Bears. We'll wait for the signal. Offside. Billy Newsom. It'll be 3rd down and 5. The Rams get new life at their own 35-yard line. The Bears have been penalized 4 times for 26 yards. Well, Young leaves, and Nelson replaces him. And Mike Spivey comes in as the 5th defensive back for the Bears as Don Reeves, the middle linebacker, is pulled out. Watt to the near right side on 3rd down and 5. The Rams have new life thanks to the offside penalty against the Bears. Namath with a long count. And a big hole up the middle to McCutcheon, who gets out across the 40 to the 44-yard line on a counter draw. Wayman Bryant makes the tackle on the play as the linebackers dropped off, and Namath reading the defense beautifully gave the running back McCutcheon right up the middle for 9 yards, and the Rams have it. 1st down at their own 44-yard line.
Bears came into this game having allowed their opponents 49% on 3rd down situations. They've improved a little tonight, but that time the Rams converted on 3rd down.
Wide to the left is Jackson. Waddy wide to the near side. I formation. Namath gives to the 2nd man. McCutcheon, big hole. It's across the 45 to 50 and gets into Bear territory at the 49. Doug Plank, the free safety, makes the tackle on the play. A good block by Capoletti. And McCutcheon advances the ball and will mark it right at the 50-yard line. It's 2nd down, 4 yards to go. Well, the Rams surprised everybody here tonight by throwing as often as they have, but now they're going to the ground, and McCutcheon has picked up 39 yards and 10 carries. Waddy standing wide to the right. Jackson wide to the left. Deuce backfield on 2nd down 4. The ball right at the 50-yard line. They give to Capoletti. No place to go. Penalty flag thrown as he gets a couple of yards. The hole was stacked up, and Capoletti tried to skate his way through. Chambers made the tackle on the play with help from Ron Rideout, and a penalty flag was thrown just as the play was ending up. Indicate possibly offensive holding against the Rams.
Well, the Rams have been making some mistakes here tonight, that's for sure.
Well, they've been penalized 50 yards now. And the 10-yard walk-off puts the ball back in L.A. territory at the 40-yard line. Now it's 2nd down and 14.
The Rams thought they were in for a cakewalk. They got to see those New Orleans Saints films from last week. The Saints ruled over the Bears 42-24. They came out here to an effortless 13-0 lead. All of a sudden they find themselves trailing. Sometimes it's tough to get it back.
Jackson wide to the left. Waddy comes wide to the near side. Deuce backfield. 2nd down, 14. The Rams at their own 40-yard line. Now the Bears shift on defense. Reeves looking for a place to go. They get to Capoletti. Big chase in the backfield. He turns the corner, hits at the 35 to 40, and gets pounded down at the 42-yard line. Wayman Bryant almost had him way behind the line, and also blowing in there was one of the Bear linemen just now getting up, Wally Chambers, who almost had him for a big, big loss.
He went into a vice.
Livers came up in his cornerback position to help put Capoletti down, and they mark it at the 42-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 12. A gain of 2 on the play, and it could have lost 8 or 10. Hartenstein in and Newsom out at defensive end.
Yeah, the right side this time.
Now, here comes Scales into the lineup, and he didn't get there quick enough. He's going to have to leave the field of play. He was supposed to start tonight. Instead, the youngster from Colorado, Waddy, got the call. Third down. 12 yards to go at the 42 in L.A. territory. Namath sets up deep the pass, and now Hartenstein hits it just before the juggle and drop by McCutcheon coming out of the backfield. The blind side hit by Hartenstein just as Namath delivered a little lob on the left side, and McCutcheon fumbled it and dropped it in the backfield.
Namath had a man open over there, but he was working over to the near side and didn't see that he had a man open on the far side.
Well, it's fourth down, and the Rams are now faced with their first punting situation of the night. Glenn Walker, averaging 36.9 and 22 punts with a net of 33.3 is in. Walter Scheid is deep for the Bears. Bashnagel and Schubert. There's the snap. And no rushes on. There's the kick, a very high kick against the wind. Drifting to the far side, and a fair catch made by Brian Bashnagel at the Chicago Bears 28-yard line. So with a score of 14-13 in favor of the Bears, 9 minutes and 28 seconds left to go in the first half. Let's pause for this second. John McConnell and Brad Palmer back at Soldier Field in Chicago, and the rains are pouring down now. But the Bears lead it 14-13 in a ball game that has seen a lot of long passes attempted and completed despite the downpour here tonight. We have 9:28 left to go in the first half. A very, very exciting football game. After it appeared the Rams might throw the Bears right out of here. All right, slot to the right. Scott, who has hauled in 2 passes for touchdowns, totaling 142 yards. The outside man. And Avellini on a busted play will keep the ball and run to the right side and get back to the line of scrimmage. Youngblood, Jim Youngblood, along with Bob Brzezinski, makes the tackle on the play. That was designed to be a handoff, and somebody missed the call there. Avellini turned around and had nobody to hand it to. Second down and 10. The ball at the Bear 29. That was a 30-yard punt a moment ago by Glenn Walker, rather. Coming wide to the near side is Bo Rather, and Scott splits wide to the far right side. Deuce backfield of Payton and Harper behind Avellini. Avellini hands off to Payton, and he tries to turn the corner, beats the linebacker, 35, 40, out of bounds at the 41-yard line. Finally rolled out of there by Monty Jackson. Walter Payton, hot-footing it around the near left side, beating the linebacker to the outside and picking up 12 yards on the play.
That gives him 38 yards on a night. He needs 40 more to move back into the lead, the NFL rushing derby.
First down for the Bears at their own 41-yard line. That is their 6th first down of the ball game. The Rams have 7. So the stats have balanced out after a poor beginning. Slot to the right, high formation. Avellini, quick pitch now to Payton. Jitterbugs inside, breaks through one hole and gets to the 45, and a penalty flag is thrown. Elmendorf made the tackle on the play with help from Cody Jones, who made the first contact, and the penalty flag against the Bears.
Offensive holding.
It appears to me, Brad, and this is the 4th weekend of the season, that we're seeing more and more holding being called.
Well, I know we always see it around Chicago.
Well, it's being called all over.
Last week against the Saints, everybody on the Bear offensive line who started had a holding penalty except for Dan Piper. Piper doing a good job.
Right, yeah. Noah Jackson, the walking boxcar, nailed with a 10-yard illegal use of hands offensively. First down, 20 yards to go. The Bears at their own 31-yard line. They've been assessed 36 yards in penalties so far. Scott wide to Harper. Runs to the outside. Breaks one tackle at the 35. Gets upfield to the 39-yard line. Roland Harper's best effort of the night. Rod Perry bringing him down. Brzezinski was also there. It'll be second down for the Bears now as they got almost, they got 9 of the market at the Chicago 40.
Bears have totaled 203 yards right now. The Rams 204. Other Bears 203, 142 yards on 2 pass plays from Avellini to Scott, both for touchdown.
Scott wide to the right, Rather wide to the near side. I formation. Second down 11. The Bears at their own 40-yard line. Man in the eye. Avellini on a draw fake to Payton. Back play action fake. Throws over the middle. Caught beautifully by Bo Rather. He juggled the ball, hauled it in, and it's up to the Rams 34-yard line. Rather was also open on the play, but Avellini spotted Rather on a slant in, made a great catch, and Simpson and Elmendorf bring him down, but hold the phone and bring it all back. Another penalty flag.
Coming back. Oh. How do you figure it, though? Last week it was dry. The Bears dropped 6 balls. Tonight they're making sensational grabs off of Abilene. They just must have painted their hands with sticking tonight. I don't know the answer, but they've really been doing a good job receiving. But again, the Bears are making too many penalties tonight, just like last week, and they've also missed tackles defense. The one thing they've cut out are the drop passes tonight. That's why they're in the football game. That's why they're winning by a point, 14-13. 7:37 to go, first half.
Dennis Lick called for the offensive hold, and the ball is back now at the 30-yard line. Second down, 21 yards to go. Let's see if the Bears can get it back again. Scott wide to the right, Rather in the slot. Deuce backfield, split behind Abilene. Now he turns and shouts to the right side where the flankers are. This may be an audible. A change at the line. Long count by Abilene. Looks again to the right, now to the near left side. And the Bears are going to be penalized 5 yards for too much time. Well, he was trying to audibilize 51 yards on 7 penalties against the Bears. It'll be moved back to the Chicago 25. Now it's second down and 26 yards to go.
Haven't seen that since Jim Dooley's days, I don't think. It's coming unglued here.
Come on, guys. We got the lead. 14-13 the score. And 11:37 to go in the half.
Remember Jim Dooley took the Bears down to Miami one night on a Monday night football game. It was like homecoming for him. He's from the Florida area. Bears got massacred down there.
Now, Rather comes wide to the near left side. Scott split wide to the right. Abilene back to pass on the first count this time. Sets up, throws it out the left side. Caught by Harper at the 30, 35. Goes down at the 38-yard line. The Rams are dropping off, hoping to avoid the deep pass. Isaiah Robertson in on the tackle. He's already had a fumble recovery and an interception tonight from his right linebacker spot for the Rams. Abilene is 4 out of 5 for 162 yards. His first pass and only pass that wasn't completed was intercepted. Now it's third down and 14. The Bears at their own 37-yard line. A nice, steady rain now pouring down on Soldier Field. But I must admit, there aren't too many empty seats here tonight. 57,000 plus were sold. Sell out for a week. Slot right. Back to pass. Abilene on 3rd and 14. Stepped up in the pocket. Throws. Hit in the air. Knocked away. Scott had his hands on it. Was bumped from behind by Rod Perry, and the ball shot away incomplete. And Abilene did an amazing job of staying on his feet. I thought he was about to go down as Freddie Dwyer hit him just as he threw the ball.
Abilene is looking more and more poised back there. Stepped up nicely into the pocket. Bears are giving him good protection back there tonight as well.
Now, just as I mentioned, the steady rain, it picks up again, and it's pouring here at Soldier Field. Well, Bob Parsons in the front. Let's see if he can knock it straight up into that rainfall and get a fumble out of it. And he hits it high, hanging in the air, coming under it, and fumble on the play, and a pile up at the 29-yard line. We'll see who gets it.
Rams.
Well, we called a fumble, but we didn't get the recovery. Boy, that has to be a tough play. Waiting for that ball to come down. A 35-yard punt, and the Rams apparently were lucky enough to get it back. They do.
You call a recovery on that play, and I'll give you an Emmy right here tonight. Talk about a swarm of jerseys. That pile was 6 feet deep before you could say Joe McConnell.
Colored Bryant made the recovery. Danny Piper down there thought he had it. Well, the Rams have it at their own 29-yard line. Slot to their right side. Waddy lining up inside of Harold Jackson. Wing to the left now. One setback. Capoletti. They give to Capoletti on a sweep to the left side behind Tom Mack. Bounces to the outside. He's going to be smeared. Dave Fensick and Wayman Bryant closed it off, sealed it, and shut it down at the line of scrimmage.
Great pursuit that time by the right side of the Bear defense. Fensick coming up to help out with Wayman Bryant. The Bears really playing German football tonight. And of course, it helps when you've got the lead, too, doesn't it?
Osborne out, Chambers in, a defensive tackle.
It is raining hard, and of course, the Rams, being from Southern California, aren't used to this.
Well, they've had a water shortage out there all year. Wide to the near side is Jackson. Waddy standing wide to the left. High formation. The deep man is McCutcheon behind Capoletti. And Namath hands off to McCutcheon. Up the middle, shreds one tackler and gets to the 35-yard line. Reeves brought him down with help from Billy Newsom. And it'll be marked at the 35. making it 3rd down and 3 yards to go. 5 minutes and 40 seconds remaining here in the first half of play at Soldier Field in Chicago. The Bears leading the Rams 14-13. In a very explosive first half despite the inclement weather.
For once, the weatherman was right.
Wide to the left is Jackson. Waddy standing wide to the near side. Deuce backfield. Flip behind Namath. And Freeway Joe back to pass. Being rushed. Throws it. Caught as Waddy hooked up. He spins away at the 42 and goes down at the 43-yard line. Spun around and bounced by Doug Buffone.
Alan Ellis overran another missed tackle, but didn't cost the Bears any yardage.
Jerry Myers put good heat on Namath that time. It was a hook pattern as he came back. And the Bear defenders were left upfield a bit, and that allowed the completion. Waddy has caught 3 for 91 yards. Namath is 7 of 16 for 150 yards here in the first half. The Rams have it, first down at their own 43-yard line. Waddy wide to the short side of the field. Wide to the left is Harold Jackson. And Namath on a draw to Capoletti, running to the outside and goes down at the 44-yard line. He stood up, hesitated, and Raymond Brandt popped him on the play. The Ram running backs appear to be very unsure when they go to that line.
Tom Mack did a good job on Wally Chambers one-on-one. Just stood Wally right up and completely neutralized him on the play. Play went to Wally's right.
Capoletti, 24 yards and 7 carries. McCutcheon has picked up 46 yards and 11 hauls. 2nd down 9. The Rams at their own 44. Waddy standing wide to the near side. Jackson standing wide to the left. Namath back to pass on 2nd and 9. Sets up deep. Pass time over the middle. And incomplete. At the Bear 38-yard line as Doug Plank again knocked the ball away from the receiver. This time Terry Nelson, the tight end, was the intended receiver. Plank has broken up 3 passes tonight. Good to have him back in there. Now Jimmy Osborne replaces Ron Ridelch in the Bear pass rush.
Hey, Ram offensive line threw up a stone wall that time for Joe Namath. Great pass coverage. They've allowed 6 sacks, but you know the Bear offensive line has only allowed 2 so far this year.
That's right. 3rd down and 9. The Rams at their own 44. Again, Waddy wide to the near side. Jackson split wide to the left. Deuce backfield with McCutcheon on the left, Capoletti on the right. The Bears almost jumped. Back to pass. Namath. Big rush this time. Penalty flag thrown. He's going to be buried. The Bears get a quarterback sack at the 30-yard line, and a penalty flag was thrown.
No doubt about it. Jim Osborne was offside.
Hartenstein and Osborne were the men, along with Chambers, who reached Namath, and Wally now just getting up in disgust, as I believe the Bear quarterback sack will not be allowed.
Well, Osborne jumped too early, and he tried to get back, but not in time. He was off balance. He had too much momentum. Osborne, the quickest pass rusher the Bears have. Sometimes he's too quick.
Well, the Bears now with their 8th first half flag. 56 yards have been penalized. The Rams have been penalized 50 yards and 6 calls. So now it's 3rd down and 4. The Rams get a break, and they have the ball at their own 49-yard line. Waddy again coming wide to the near side. Jackson standing wide to the far left side. And now Cullen Bryant has replaced McCutcheon in the backfield. Back to pass is Namath, setting up deep, looking long, throws it in the middle. High in the air, almost picked off by Alan Ellis as the intended receiver, Billy Waddy, slipped and fell at the Bear 35. 4th down. 4 yards to go. At the Ram 49, L.A. will be forced to punt again.
How about that? 2 straight punts. They scored the first 3 times they've had the ball, and they missed the field goal, and now they've had the punt twice in a row. So the Bear defense has held 3 times in a row.
Well, the Bears are going to rush Mr. Walker this time. They've got 10 men up, and Schubert is back at the 16-yard line. A 10-man rush for the Bears. There's the snap, and he gets the kick away. And it's a wobbler. He shaped it. And it bounces at the 35 and then gets a great L.A. bounce. Carries inside the Bears' 30-yard line, and we whistle then at about the 26-yard line. A very, very poor punt. Now we got a penalty flag again. 24 yards on the punt, and it bounced about 12 of those. They're going to bring it back.
They're going to let him shank it again?
Well, it's against the Rams, and it's going to be a 10-yard mark off. That's why they're taking the penalty. It moves it back to the 39-yard line in L.A. territory. Offensive holding.
When Walker's a rookie from Southern Cal. In fact, both the kickers for the Rams are rookies. So is Rafael Septién, who was cut earlier by the Saints.
Doug France, the left offensive tackle, nailed with his second offensive holding call in the first half. Now it's 4th and 14 at the Ram 39. Walker to kick it away again, and the Bears drop 3 men deep. There's the snap, and there's the kick. And he hits a high hanging spiral, drifting to the right side. Schubert waits for it at the 26-yard line, gives ground, tries to come upfield. Ball knocked loose. Is there a fumble? I believe there is, and the Rams have it. Schubert fumbled after he was hit at the 25-yard line.
Third Bear turnover, and the Rams have already cashed 2 of them into a touchdown and a field goal. And now they are just outside the Bears' 25-yard line with 3:25 to go in the first half.
Colin Bryant recovered the loose ball on that wet AstroTurf, and the Rams will have it deep in their territory as Schubert dropped the ball after he was hit. He had caught it cleanly and started to come to the near side. Jack Pardee comes over to console him a bit. So that's part of the game.
The Ram penalty works in the Rams' favor.
Boy, didn't it ever. And now, what's this? A penalty against the Bears, half the distance to the goal line. And the men in the striped shirts are going to give the ball to the Rams on the Bears' 13-yard line. A personal foul.
86, did he say?
Bob Parsons, the punter. I believe that's what Gene Barth indicated.
No, he didn't punt. But he's in on the special team.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, he's the punter. He's also a tight end. Well, the Rams have it now at the Bears' 13-yard line. Loose backfield of McCutcheon and Capoletti. And the Rams are moving on the play. They give up the middle to McCutcheon, and he gets to about the 9-yard line. Well, let me tell you, Billy Waddy was moving at the line of scrimmage when the ball was snapped. Don Reeves made the tackle. No flag was dropped. Well, it's second down, 7 yards to go. The Rams at the Bear 10-yard line. 3:11 left to go in the first half. The Bears leading 14-13, but obviously that lead right now in danger. Jackson split about 5 yards to the left. Waddy about 5 yards to the side. Deuce backfield. Split about 5 yards apart behind Namath. Second down 7 from the Bear 10-yard line. And to give to Capoletti. And he gets about 3 yards, crawling literally on his knees, down to about the 6-yard line. We'll see where they spot it. Roger Stillwell and Jerry Myers brought him down, and there was a good second effort by Capoletti, who was stacked up right at the 9-yard line and managed to kind of scramble and work his way down to the 7. It's third down, 4 yards to go at the Chicago Bears 7-yard line.
Third time the Rams have been inside the 15-yard line. They've had to settle for field goals twice.
Waddy wide to the near side. Jackson standing wide to the left. We'll see if Freeway Joe puts it up. Fake, back to pass, rolling to his left, looking at the end zone, throws it away, way over the crossbar, and 10 yards beyond the end zone. Ron Rideout's putting the heat on, and the Bears secondary again did a great job of covering up in the end zone. I believe the pass was intended for McCutcheon. Namath at 7 of 19 for 150 yards. And Septién comes in now to try for his third short-range field goal of the first half. He is 2 for 3. He missed a 37-yarder against this win and hit on 23 and 30-yarders early in the ball game. Nolan Cromwell will spot the ball at the 15. It'll be a kick of 25 yards. Septién, the soccer-style kicker with a number 1 on the back of his white jersey. Cromwell, right arm extended, waiting the snap. He gets it, puts it down. There's the boot. It is good. A 25-yard Septién field goal, his third three-pointer of the first half, and with 2:10 to go in the second period, the Rams have regained the lead 16-14.
The next time you drive into what used to be your Enco dealer, don't be surprised if he says, "I'm okay, Oklahoma." That's because the OK Oklahoma name has replaced the Enco name in Illinois and other Midwestern states. Oklahoma is an old-time and respected gasoline name that used to be around these parts. It's always stood for good neighborly service and the finest in gasoline and complete car care. And that's what you'll be getting when you drive into Oklahoma, where you'll see the new blue OK Oklahoma sign. You'll see 2 other good signs there that'll give you a lot of credit. MasterCharge and Visa, the 2 most popular bank charge cards in America. So drive in where you see the new blue Oklahoma sign. You'll find everything's okay.
Well, the Bears await the kickoff by Rafael Septien. Art Best is deep at about his own 3-yard line. Musso and Walterscheid guarding the corner. There's a boomer against this wind. And Best picks it up at the 4-yard line, up the far sideline to the 20. Looking for running room, gets across the 25 and is smacked down at the 27, and there might have been a late hit call there that wasn't. Kevin McLean really pounced on him after he'd hit the turf, tackled by Pat Thomas, 23-yard return. And a 2-minute warning now being given to both coaches, Chuck Knox and Jack Pardee, in their benches. And with 2 minutes to go here in the first half, the Bears owning the ball on their own 27 to score. The Rams 16, the Bears 14. 2 minutes left to go in the first half of this Monday night matchup between the Rams and the Bears. The Bears have turned it over 3 times here in the first half. The Rams have capitalized with 3 field goals, and they lead it 16-14. Long Bear huddle right now. Now they break. And it's Schubert in the lineup. And the Bears go with 3 wide receivers. Slot left. Scott is put wide to the right. Rather is the outside man on the near left sideline. Deuce backfield. Avellini with a call. With his own 27-yard line. Of the Walter Payton with Noah Jackson leading the way, getting a block. Walter tries to turn the corner. Is hit, spun, and knocked out of bounds. On the near sidelines at about the 28-yard line. Isaiah Robertson, the right side linebacker, playing that sweep very well. Staying to the outside. Again, containing. That's what the Rams hope to do. Now Baschnagel hustles in from the near sidelines, replacing Steve Schubert. The Bears going with 3 wide receivers in a slot formation. And now the Rams counter with an extra linebacker, putting Carl Eckern in and pulling Cody Jones. So they'll go with the 3 downmen, 4 linebackers, and 4 defensive backs. Slot right, Scott wide to the near left side. Avellini gives up the middle to Harper, breaks 1 tackle, bangs across the 35, and surges out to the 38-yard line. Roland Harper running it up the slot with Simpson and Budzinski making the tackle in the secondary. First down for the Bears. At their own 38-yard line, 1:38 to go in the half. The Bears seem to be in no hurry at the moment. Now they break the huddle. Rather and Baschnagel wide to the right, Scott wide to the left. Split backfield. Avellini with first down at his own 38-yard line. Quick pitch now. Going the far side is Harper. And he gets across the 40-yard line, slides an extra yard or so. The ball rolls out of there, but the play had been rolled in. Roland Harper on a pitch to the right side. Monty Jackson making the tackle on the play. And the Bears, I believe, will stop the clock now. Their first time out. 1:18 to go, and Avellini comes over here to confer on the near sideline.
16-14 in favor of the Rams, as they have converted 3 turnovers into 2 field goals and a touchdown. Actually, I guess it could be worse because the Bear defense has done a good job holding inside that 15-yard line. The Rams have been inside the 15 4 times, and 3 times have had to settle for field goals. And Namath came out throwing tonight in the first quarter. Bears weren't getting any kind of a pass rush at all, and Namath was having good success through the air. But in the second quarter, it turned around, and the Bear defense now has played a much more respectable game.
Interesting stat from our computer, Dave Milberg. Namath is 7 of 19 for 150 yards, and Avellini is 4 out of 6 for 162 yards.
And 2 plays, of course, accounted for 142 yards. James Scott just made a sensational catch as he leaped high into the air and took the ball over his shoulder for his second touchdown. That was of 72 yards. And the first one of 70 yards, which came just 3 minutes earlier, he simply outran Rod Perry, who slipped and fell on the play.
Perry actually took out the second defensive back, Pat Thomas, on that second touchdown catch. They collided with one another. All right, slot side. Baschnagel lining up inside of Bo Rather. Scott split wide to the far right side. It's 2nd down, 8 at the 40-yard line. They give to Walter Payton, flies the left side, and gets just 2 yards before he's chopped down. And the Bears call another timeout. Dwyer and Brooks, the right side of that front 4, chopping Walter down, a gain of 2. It'll be 3rd down and about 6 yards to go. The Bears at their own 42-yard line. And Avellini again comes over to the near sidelines. And some of the locals little displeased with that last call, but there again, when everyone expects pass, that might be the time to run.
Well, they've stopped the clock now, and now if they don't make the first down, they're going to have to punt the ball, and the Rams are going to have the ball with enough time to get down for a field goal. Joe Rowley can still hum the ball.
The one big advantage the Bears have geographically right now is the fact that there's a very, very strong wind with them at this particular point, 17 miles an hour out of the south. Now, Bashnagel leaves, and Steve Schubert has been reinstated. This is one of the 3 wide receivers.
But don't forget that first 70-yard bomb to Scott was into the wind.
Yeah, it was. Scott wide to the near side. Slot to the right. With Schubert lining up inside of Bo Rather. 3rd down, about 6 yards to go. The fake draw, back to pass Avellini. Wants to scramble out of there, and he does. He runs up the middle of the 50 to the 45, drops the ball. Big pile up at the Rams 38-yard line. And the Rams did it.
Oh, you could see it coming. He was waving the football. He didn't have a hold of the football. He got carried away with himself, I think.
Well, he got a 20-yard run and just simply lost the handle on it.
But he was waving the football around, and it's a wet football. It's raining out there, and he should have tucked it in, but he didn't.
Well, Simpson recovers the loose ball for the Rams. The 4th first-half turnover for the Bears is still trailed by only 2 at 16-14. We have 1 minute and 1 second left to go in the first half, and Joe Woolley will be firing him now. The Rams will have it at their own 37-yard line.
He waved that thing around just like a loaf of bread, just like a typical rookie mistake.
Now the Rams are going with 3 wide receivers. Slot to the near right side. Wide to the left is Scales, Dwight Scales. Namath the throw. Back to pass. Swings it out of the backfield. Caught by Cappelletti. 35-40. 45 banged out of bounds just before the midfield stripe by Gary Fensick and Alan Ellis. So Namath, sending everyone deep, just simply swung it out on the right flat. That Cappelletti had about 15 yards of daylight in front of him. And not only that, they stopped the clock with 54 seconds to go, and they picked up 12 yards in the first play. The Rams have it at their own 49. Namath now 8 out of 20 in the first half for 162 yards.
Joe, you can put it at 4 turnovers. The Bears are lucky to be only down by 2 points at this stage.
Absolutely right. Jackson wide to the near side. In the slot is Scales. Wide to the left is Waddy. Deuce backfield. First down for the LA Rams, their own 49. And Namath sets up deep to pass. Being rushed, throws it over the middle, and it's intercepted. It's intercepted by Buffon. He's to the 50-yard line and pounded down. Ed Buffon coming up with his first interception of the year. That's the 3rd Bear pickoff of the season. Tom Mack, the all-pro offensive guard, made the tackle on the play. Namath was rushed that time. Stillwell almost got to it. A 12-yard return for the 11-year pro out of Louisville, Doug Buffon. And the Bears have it right back near the midfield stripe.
With 45 seconds to go. A big play by Doug Buffon. Of course, he missed all of last year with that Achilles injury, underwent surgery. And Buffon was just cut right in front of the receiver and picked it off. Now the Bears have the ball at midfield.
Scott wide to the near side. Wide to the right is Bo Rather. Avellini back to pass. In the pocket, throws it over the middle, and it's juggled and dropped by James Scott, who got a tremendous pop from behind by Monty Jackson.
Yeah, he was hit coming and going that time. He was Stanford's twice, and he's holding his head. Got his bell rung pretty good that time. Bears put a good rush on Namath last time as well. That helped. Give a guy a good rush. You know, the Rams led the league with 32 interceptions last year, but the big reason they did it is because they had the big pass rush. They put pressure on the quarterback, made him make mistakes, and I think that time the Bear rush made Namath make that mistake as much as anything else and set it up for the phone.
Robertson and Brzezinski were both over there, too, both the outside linebackers. It's 2nd down, 10 from the 50-yard line. Back to pass, Avellini throws it to the right sideline. And a catch! No, he dropped the ball. High in the air was Bo Rather. Rod Perry jarred him, and the ball just slithered away. Incomplete. At the Ram 37-yard line. So it'll be 3rd down and 10. Hubert comes out, and Bashnagel replaces him. We have 34 seconds left to go in the first half. A 16-14 score, the Rams leading. The Bears still have 1 timeout remaining if they need it, but they've got to pick up a first down right here. 3rd and 10 at the 50-yard line. Rather comes wide to the near side. Schubert is put wide to the right as James Scott gets a breather. Make that Bashnagel. Back to pass. Out on the right flat to Harper, who caught it and is buried for a big loss. And pounding him on his helmet is Isaiah Robertson. After Harper was buried by Robertson, he reached over the top and banged him on the helmet about 3 times. A loss of almost 8 yards on the pass completion to Harper on a swing to the right side, and everybody was there for the Rams. They were there even before it was thrown on. Now the Bears now obviously not calling a timeout. The Rams do with 19 seconds to go in the half, and they're going to run this punt. Well, it's been a most interesting first half, and despite 4 turnovers, the Bears are still in it. They've lost 2 fumbles. They've lost 3 fumbles. And a pass intercepted. The Rams have had 1 turnover.
You can't say it has been an eventful football game.
Yes, it has.
Not well played, but eventful.
Parsons to punt. The snap is a good one. The rush is on. He's going to throw it. And he completes it to Harper at the 45 to 50. The 45 and out of bounds. Parsons passing out of the punting situation is 2 for 2. Both to Roland Harper, who caught a 7-yarder short of first down territory. And he's going to be short of first down of this play. Rick Newsom knocked him out of bounds on the near sideline. Well, the Rams had 3 guys all over Parsons when he threw that ball. Now they're having a big discussion at the midfield stripe with the officials.
Parsons was a quarterback at Penn State. He was also 2 for 2 last year, and his last year he completed both passes for first down. This year he has failed to pick up the first down on either occasion.
There may have been an illegal receiver downfield for the Bears, and that's what the discussion is all about. I would think the Rams would want the ball right here, because they'll get it at the Ram 46-yard line. The illegal receiver downfield. That was the call. Our executive producer, Rich King, came up with that one. So the Rams have it at their own 46-yard line. The play stands up. It was not a first down, but the Rams get it right there. Namath with 12 seconds to go. Slot right, wide to the left. Here's Waddy. Namath to throw. Sets up, has protection. Just to his left. Now throws a wobbler down the middle. Incomplete. Intended for Harold Jackson. He was covered up that time by Spivey and Bryant. And the ball appeared to be thrown behind the receiver. Dwight Scales is the 3rd wide receiver in there for the Rams right now. Namath appears to be having some problems throwing the ball downfield, although he has connected on a couple of long ones early. Now McCutcheon leaves, and we'll check and see if we can pick up the second running back. I believe it's going to be Cullen Bryant. It is. He's a much bigger player physically and a better blocker, pass blocker. 7 seconds. Wide to the left is Scales. Waddy in the slot to the near sideline. The Rams have it at their own 46-yard line. Back to pass is Namath. Pump, throws a long one, and the Bears are back. And it's Finsick and Frank, and it's Frank who makes the interception, and is knocked down at the 6-yard line. Finsick and Frank just dropped off the line. They were both down there waiting for the ball. I thought they both might collide going after it, and Doug Frank comes up with his first interception of the year, the Bears' second of the first half, and the time has expired here at Soldier Field in Chicago with a score at halftime. The LA Rams 16, the Chicago Bears 14. Well, it's a 16-14 Los Angeles lead here at halftime, and we're just about set now for the 3rd period. And the Bears will be kicking off into the wind, which means they will have that 17-mile-an-hour southerly breeze at their back in the 4th and final period.
There are 2 stories in this football game. There are 2 bombs, one winning to Scott for 72 and 70 yards, which is why the Bears have 14 points. And there are 4 Bear turnovers, which have resulted in 13 of the 16 points the Rams have put on the board. So the Bears are figuring in the scoring either way you look at it, either with turnovers or with the bomb. And they've got to cut down the turnovers. They're lucky to be in the football game having committed 4 turnovers.
And I think that right now, at least to this point, the Bear coaches have to be awful proud of that secondary, particularly inside the 20-yard line, where they have thwarted the Rams time and time again. All right, Thomas has it teed up on the 35. And the winds are beginning to swirl around here in Soldier Field. Thomas moves forward, and there's the boot. A low line drive kick, scooting down the middle. Short hop bobble, picked up by Tyler. He's out to the 20, to the 25, to the 30, knocked off his spots at the 34-yard line. Tyler running it back. And Bo Rather, the wide receiver, made the tackle on the play. A 26-yard return by Tyler. That's Wendell Tyler, a rookie running back. And so the Rams will put it in play. 1st and 10 from their own 34-yard line. The second half underway here at Soldier Field.
Rams have scored 4 times, and they scored the first 3 times they've had the football. So the Bears have really stiffened on defense.
Jackson standing wide to the near side. Billy Waddy wide to the right. Running backs are McCutcheon and Capoletti. Namath the quarterback. And a handoff goes to Capoletti, and he's smashed at the line and knocked back. Big hit by Ron Rideout. It'll be second down and a long 10. The Ram offensive line. Doug France, Tom Mack, Rich Saul, Dennis Hera, and John Williams. The interior line with Terry Nelson, the tight end, although Charlie Young has seen action in the first half.
You know, the Rams came to town on Saturday night, and on Sunday morning, 8 o'clock, Doug France is on top of Sears Tower getting a good view of the city.
Second down, 10. The Rams at their own 34-yard line, and they line up in a slot to the right side. Waddy inside of Harold Jackson. Deuce backfield, and Namath rolls out to the right and completes it to Jackson, and Jackson gets by one man across the 40 and out of bounds. We'll see where they mark the ball at about the 43. Doug Buffone finally knocked him out of there. Just literally throwing a cross body block out the sideline. It'll be third down and about a yard to go. The ball just across the 42. It's third and a short 2.
Well, we don't have tall buildings out in Los Angeles, and he's from Ohio State.
Waddy, far to the right side. Both ends are in tight as they put Charlie Young in there to block. On third down and less than 2 yards. The Rams at their own 42-yard line. Long count by Namath. He's going to pass it again. Quick square out. Caught by Waddy, who slips and falls, trying to look for extra running room, and he fell at the 44. He caught it at the 45. Alan Ellis over there quickly to touch him down. I think he got the first down yardage, but wouldn't it be something in trying to maneuver if he lost it? He got it. That was just a quick little flip out on the right flat. Young is out, and back in is Harold Jackson. Waddy's had himself quite a ball game here tonight, playing in place of Ron Jesse, who was the Rams' leading pass receiver until he went down the second play last week.
Only a rookie, and he was a second-round pick out of Colorado, 5'11", 185.
Caught 4 for 89 tonight. The Rams have it first down at their own 44-yard line. Jackson wide to the near side. Waddy split wide to the right. Namath hands off to Capoletti, looking for running room. Newsom slides off. He comes to the near sidelines, grabbed by Wayman Bryant, and game tackled by 3 other Bears that come over to roll him down at about the 47-yard line. Virgil Livers leading the way, along with Wally Chambers.
Well, Chambers has played a majority of this football game so far, and remains to be seen how the knee will react, whether it puffs up or whether it gets fluid on the knee that's going to keep him out of the Minnesota game. It is encouraging to see him out there, and Doug Frank's been going all the way.
2nd and 7. The Rams at their own 47. Jackson wide left, Waddy standing wide right. Deuce backfield, split behind Namath. Namath hands it off to Capoletti. Hit and dropped at the 47-yard line. A beautiful tackle by Don Reeves, the middle linebacker. Wrapped his arms around his waist and flung him down.
Nice play by Reeves. He's had a couple of missed tackles tonight and had some missed tackles last week against the Saints that blew in there that time and made a fine play.
Well, Capoletti, who has averaged only 2.7 a carry, has picked up 28 yards and 11 tries tonight. He lost a yard there. It's 3rd and 8 at the Ram 46. Jackson wide left. Waddy standing wide to the far right side. His backfield. Namath on 3rd down and 8. Warms up the right arm, sets up, beats the pass, in the pocket, throws it out of the right side. Penalty flag thrown as the pass is completed to Capoletti, and he got across the 50-yard line to the marker at the 48, but it's going to be a holding call against the Rams. Gary Fensick and Alan Ellis defending on the completed pass. It's going to be a 10-yard walk-off, offensive holding against the Rams.
That's their 7th penalty tonight. It's been a penalty-filled game. The Bears have 9 penalties. The Rams have 7.
The Rams have now been penalized 65. Now they're having a discussion. The Bears want to know if it's a first down or not. Pretty close. Wait a minute. They're not going to take the penalty. They're going to take the ball. He did not make the first down. He was about 3 yards shy, so it's going to be 4th down. We'll call it 2. At the Bear 48-yard line, they declined the offensive holding call. We'll give Namath the completed pass. Picked up 6 on the play. Hubert back in solitary safety. The Bears will rush 10 men. Glenn Walker, the punter, has not had an exceptional year. There's the snap. The rush is on, and he hits it high into the air, end over ender. Schubert's going to let it go. Oh, it takes a Ram bounce at the 10-yard line, starts to come back up, and is down at the 11-yard line by Cullen Bryant. The ball bounced straight off the astroturf high in the air and started to come back upfield.
They actually bounced at the 10, went high into the air, and stopped at the 11.
So, a 27, making a 37-yard punt, and the Bears will have the ball at their own 11-yard line when play is resumed to score. The Rams 16, the Bears 14.
The ball now, handoff goes to Robert Payton. And off left tackle, he gets
about a yard and a half, maybe 2. To the 13-yard line, it'll be second down and 8. The Bears starting from their own 11-yard line with their first second-half possession. The ball is at the 12. We'll call it a gain of 1. It's second and 9. Peyton with 45 yards tonight needs 78 or more to maintain his rushing leadership in the National Football League. They'll waive all that for a victory. Slot to the near right side, rather inside of Scott. I formation, second down 9. They give to Harper, trying the left side, breaks one tackle, gets out across the 15 to about the 17-yard line, where he's collared there by Elmendorf. And Youngblood, the linebacker. It'll be third down coming up for the Bears now, and about 4 yards to go at their own 17-yard line. Big possession here if they could pick up a couple of first downs and get some better field position. They're going into the wind. The rains now have stopped here in the second half. Rather comes wide to the near right side. Put wide to the left is James Scott, who burned the Rams secondary twice for long touchdown passes in the first half. Cavallini back to throw on 3rd and 4. Being rushed, he throws a diving grab by Walter Payton, but he's going to be shy of the first down. Payton had to dive coming back towards the line as Cavallini really had to throw in a hurry that time as Cody Jones came blowing right up the middle and put a tremendous amount of pressure on Cavallini.
He pulled the ripcord, didn't he?
Yeah, 4th down, 4 yards to go. No gain on the completed pass to Walter Payton. You know, Payton's touchdown grab a week ago was the first time in his career that he had scored by a pass reception. Bob Parsons in the punt, 2 men deep for the Rams. There's the snap. There's the kick by Parsons, and he hits a pretty good one. Drifting back is Billy Waddy at the 37. Gives ground to the 35. Circles to his right, looking for a block. Slips, slides, and goes down at the 43-yard line. Billy Waddy circling to the right, looking for running room. Robin Earl down there quickly, along with Johnny Musso. Wow. And Steve Schubert to make the tackle. A 46-yard Parsons punt into that strong southerly breeze. Get a 48-yarder called back in the first quarter.
Parsons has been booming them all years. Career average is 38 yards, and he was just under that last year. He's averaging over 40 yards on his kicks as the best net in the NFL, 37.4.
Jackson standing wide to the near side. Waddy wide right. I formation behind Namath. The Rams put it in play from the LA 43. And Namath gives to the deep man, and up the middle goes McCutcheon across the 45 to about the 47-yard line. Wally Chambers and Don Reeves in on the play. It'll be second down coming up for the Rams now, and about 6 yards to go. Now they'll mark it at the 48. A gain of 5 for McCutcheon, 2nd and 5.
That's 51 yards for McCutcheon tonight, and he's moving up towards 300 yards, so he's in the top 10 in the NFL, and actually moving into the top 5.
Waddy wide right. Jackson standing wide to the near side. I formation. Now Waddy comes in motion towards the line. The give to McCutcheon. Spins away. Lunges across the 50 into Chicago Bear territory at the 47-yard line. Gary Fensick brought him down. But Wayman Bryant also got a piece of him, but I believe it was Billy Newsom who missed him at the line of scrimmage. Now they're going to measure. The ball in Bear territory at the Chicago 48. Now the officials say start it up again. They're not going to measure. So in comes Charlie Young and Cullen Bryant, replacing Jackson and Waddy, the 2 wide receivers. Bryant will line up as a wing to the right. Both ends are in tight. 3rd down, less than a yard. The Rams at the Bear 48-yard line. The Bears have 9 men on the line. And the give to McCutcheon. And he skips over one man and spins, gets to the 45 to the 44-yard line. Gary Fensick grabbed him around the ankles, wouldn't let go, along with Wayman Bryant, who's a little slow, rolling over and getting up. First down for the Rams at the Chicago Bear 45.
Fensick coming up from strong safety. He came into the game with 40 tackles in the first 3 games. He's playing strong safety now in place of Clemens tonight. In fact, he started with Plank starting at free safety for the first time this season.
Waddy and Jackson back in. Waddy is wide to the far right side. Jackson standing wide to the near left side. Deuce backfield behind Namath. Joe sets up quickly. A square out on the left side, and it's juggled and dropped by Harold Jackson as he crossed the near sideline to the 40-yard line. Livers and Bryant both smelling the play were there. Namath is 11 of 27 for 175 yards.
Not too great, is it?
Percentage-wise, no.
No, and especially since the first quarter. I'd like to know what he's done since the first quarter. It hasn't been much. Harold Jackson has led the Rams in pass catching the last 4 years and is coming back from Philadelphia.
Namath is 6 of 17. since the first quarter. He was 5 of 10.
Thank you, Dave Milberg and Joe McConnell.
That was me. I'll take credit for that. High formation. And Namath gives to the deep man. McCutcheon hit and dropped at the 44-yard line. Beautifully, Ron Rideout made the low tackle. Ron Rideout, in his third year from Utah, 6'4", 257 pounds. Had 2 quarterback sacks coming into the game tonight. 2 of the Bears' total of 6, all picked up against the Lions on the very first ball game.
You know, Namath came into this game ranked as the 7th leading quarterback in the NFL this year. Now, that ranking is sort of a PR thing, but here he is against the defense, ranked 27th in passing, so the Bears are really doing the job tonight.
Slot right, third down, 9, the Bears, or the Rams at the Bear 44. Namath back to pass, fires it downfield, and Waddy catches it, gets away, and Buffon finally trapped him at the 35-yard line. Virgil Livers also over there to help out on the play, but the Rams are going to be a bit shy. They're going to be less than a yard from a first down at the Bear 35. And had the initial tackle been made, they would have had it at about the 38 or 9-yard line.
Exactly. It was another missed tackle. It was kind of a Joe Cap wobbly type pass, and it was Livers that missed the tackle about 3 yards shy of the first down, and it's very close to a first down, Joe. He might have it.
Well, they're going to measure, and they have to take the chains all the way over to the far side. I think he's going to be a bit shy when they get it stretched out.
Nope, he's got it.
Yeah, he does. By the nose of the ball. First down for the Rams at the Bear 35.
Now, if the Rams go down and score, you can go back to 1 missed tackle.
Waddy has now picked up 100 yards and 5 catches tonight. An outstanding young wide receiver. Colorado had quite a few high draft choices this year in the NFL. Mike Spivey, of course, was the Bears' number 2 pick, and Waddy was the Rams' number 2 pick. First down, the Rams at the Bear 35-yard line. Jackson comes wide to the near side, and Waddy is standing wide to the right. This backfield. Namath looking over the Bear alignment. Gives now to McCutcheon in around. Here comes Waddy with it at the 35, the 30, the 25, the 20. Cuts inside a man at the 10 and is hauled down. A jersey tackle by Don Reeves, saving a touchdown at the Bears' 6-yard line.
Oh, what a beautiful cut inside of Doug Blank that time. Blank looked like had him dead to rights, and he cut right inside of him. He got another 15 yards under the 5-yard line, but it goes back to the missed tackle on Virgil Livers, which would have prevented the first down that got him down here.
Well, Waddy on the reverse coming to the near side. Doug France also threw a key block on the play, and the Rams have the ball first down on the Bear 5-yard line. A 30-yard run. First and goal. Wing to the right is Cullen Bryant. Both ends are in tight. And Namath hands off to McCutcheon. They're going to try to blast it in. He cuts back, slips, and falls at the 5-yard line. Running wide to the right, and Doug Plank had a bead on him. Alan Ellis was the man who gets credit for the tackle, however. It'll be second and goal. The Rams at the Bear 5-yard line, and the Bear defense once again is asked to hold.
Do we credit Reeves in that previous play? I think he saved a touchdown with that.
Yes, he did. On that particular play, whether he saved the ultimate touchdown or not, we'll have to wait and see. It's second and goal from the 5-yard line. Now Waddy is back in, and he lines up as a wing to the right side. Both ends are in tight. Second and goal from the Bear 5-yard line. Namath with the call. Gives it right up the middle to McCutcheon, and McCutcheon battles, struggles, down to 2, and is pulled back. Gary Fensick, who has been in on a lot of tackles, as Brad Palmer mentioned, and Wayman Bryant also helping out on the play, along with Doug Plank. It'll be third down and goal, and they spot the ball on the Bear 2-yard line.
Fensick and Plank got him from in front, and Bryant came around and pulled him back to stop his forward progress.
Ball just outside the Bear 2-yard line, third and goal. Again, Waddy has the wing, lines up on the right side. The Deuce tucked in tight behind Namath. The line set. Here's the call on third and goal from the 2-yard line. Namath gives to McCutcheon. He tries it. He doesn't get it. He stacked up with the one, and he tried to veer to the right side behind Rich Stahl, Dennis Harrah, and John Williams. And the Bears caved it in. Rideout was on top. Doug Plank stuck his head in there low and wedged it out, and it'll be fourth down. And still 1.5 yards to go. And the Rams now are looking to see what they're going to do. They're going to go for it. Oh, boy. McCutcheon, 64 yards at 19.5. And here comes Tom Hicks in. Hicks comes in, and Plank leaves. The Bears go with an extra backer. It's fourth down goal just outside the 1-yard line. Wing to the right, this backfield. Now Namath straightens up. I think he wants some quiet. You know, all that will do is make more noise from the Bear faithful here. The Rams will regroup. It's 4th down.
Not a bad call. They've got a 2-point lead. A 5-point lead's not going to do a lot for them. And even if they don't make it, they've got the Bears on the 1-yard line. In what conditions like this, Bears make a mistake and the Rams are right down there. Don't blame them at all for going for it.
Doug Plank comes in, replacing Virgil Livers, so Plank will play the right corner. 4th down. Goal to go. A little more than a yard. And Namath again, looking for some quiet. Is he going to get it? Rams will regroup again. Now Wally Chambers and some of the Bears asking for the fans behind the northern end zone to hold it down a bit so they can run the play. Don Reeves also asking for some quiet. It's 4th down, just a bit more than a yard to go. And the Rams regroup for the 3rd time now.
Well, the crowd's with the Bears right now. I hope they don't start booing if the Rams make it.
All right, the Rams come up to the line. Waddy, the wingback, to the right side. Deuce backfield, 4th down, goal just outside the 1-yard line. Namath sets him. Long count. Namath to McCutcheon. He doesn't make it. He doesn't make it. A great goal line stand for the Bears. Tom Hicks, who was inserted in there for that play, made the tackle on the play. The Bear defense is held, and I believe that was Rod Phillips. Rod Phillips in for the first time, tried to carry the ball to the left side and was hit and knocked back. And the Bears take over at their own 1-yard line. Rod Phillips into the ball game for the first time and picked up 30 yards in just 5 carries. Now Bashnagel hustles in. Scott and Rather leave, and the Bears are going to go with a double tight end alignment to try to get some working room. They're on their own 1-yard line. A great Bear defensive stand. Let's see if this can't fire up the offensive unit. Bashnagel lines up as a wing to the left side. Harper and Payton, the running back. The Rams stunting and looping now at the line. And a give now to Harper. Tries the right side and gets hit and pounded down. He may have gotten a half a yard or so, trying to slide to the near right side, and Budzinski knocked him down. He may have picked up a yard on the play. It's 2nd down and 9. The Bears at their own 2-yard line. But the defense has held when they've had to hold tonight. They've given up only 1 touchdown despite 4 first-half turnovers.
Defense has really been outstanding tonight, especially compared to what it was.
All right, the Bears line it up 2nd down, 9 at their own 2-yard line. Wing to the right. Avellini gives to Harper. He tries the left side, breaks 1 tackle, still struggles out near the 5 and gets pushed back, and we'll see where they mark the ball. They throw him into the end zone. Harper was gang tackled and thrown all the way back 6 yards deep in the end zone, but of course the play was whistled dead long before that. Monty Jackson was there, along with Budzinski, and they're having some unpleasantries down there now. Some of the Rams, Isaiah Robertson is arguing. Greg Latta went over there along with Dennis Lick, and I think they were very unhappy with the way the Rams pushed and then slammed Roland Harper down deep in his own end zone after the play had been stopped. Simpson and Payton were also jawing at one another. The ball just outside the Bear 4-yard line is where the officials spot it. It'll be 3rd down, 6 yards to go.
What do you want to call here, Joe?
Well, the Bears have their wide receivers in. Slot to the left. Rather lining up inside James Scott on 3rd down and a long 5. Avellini gives now to Payton, going to try to sweep the right side, cuts back and gets to the 10, doubles to the 15, and slides to the 18-yard line. First down for the Bears. Beautiful block thrown by Reeby Story as he cut off the right guard and tackle slot and broke it upfield and stumbled, and they're going to mark the ball back at the 15-yard line. First down for the Bears. Payton with a beautiful inside cut. And you know, he lost his balance by himself, and I think although the officials mark it at the 15, if Waller had scrambled and gotten back up, they might have allowed it. First down for the Bears at their own 15-yard line, and that might well be the emotional turning point of this game. We certainly hope so. 8 first downs for the night. 1 here in the second half. Slot left, deuce backfield. Avellini with a call. Drops back to pass. Sets up. Throws a long one down the left sideline. Intended for Scott again. Out of bounds. Into the Ram bench. In fact, McCutcheon was standing there as the ball came down. Monty Jackson covering on the play at the Ram 45 along with Bill Simpson, the free safety. Second down and 10. Peyton now with 54 yards and 13 carries.
Boy, Scott's in big company over there with Monty Jackson. He intercepted 10 passes last year, and he returned 3 of them for touchdowns. He's got 1 interception this year. He's an all-pro from San Diego State, all-pro and only in his 3rd year, Monty Jackson.
Well, Rod Perry, their other cornerback who did such a fine job last year in his 3rd year. The secondary,
and he had 8 interceptions.
Fairly young, yes. Simpson in his 4th year. Elmendorf is the graybeard. That strong safety in his 7th season. Scott wide to the near side, rather split wide to the left, I formation. Second down, 10. The Bears from their own 15-yard line. Avellini gives to Peyton, tries to go up the middle, hit it. One of his own blockers struggles out to the 20-yard line. Denny Piper was knocked down, and Walter ran right into him, and then bolted to the outside where Bill Simpson pins him down at the 20-yard line along with Brzezinski. It'll be 3rd down and 5.
Piper was throwing a rolling block into Cody Jones at left tackle, and all of a sudden he rolled over in front of Walter.
Big 3rd down play for the Bears, who were 3 out of 8 in the first half. The Rams were 4 of 10 in the first half on 3rd down conversion. Scott wide to the near side, rather split wide left. Deuce backfield. 3rd down and 5. The Bears from their own 20-yard line. There was some movement in the line before the ball was snapped, and Avellini goes down as Larry Brooks came in, but that will be nullified, and we'll see who was offside. The Bears. Illegal motion. That'll make it 3rd and 10 and put the ball back on the 15.
10th penalty on the Bears. 10 for 76 yards. Boy, that's too many. They averaged 8 last year, and that was a lot.
2 minutes left to go here in the 3rd period. It's a 16-14 L.A. lead. No scoring here in the 3rd quarter, and the Bears came up with a great goal line stand at their 1-yard line a moment ago. And Piper, the man who snapped the ball, was the man who moved first. 3rd down and 10. The Bears back in their own 15, but they were down on their own 1 when this drive began. Scott wide to the near side. Wide to the left is Bo Rather. Rather had one fine catch in the first half that was called back. On a draw, the give is to Roland Harper, and he is just buried. A sea of L.A. jerseys on top of him at the 11-yard line, led by Larry Brooks and Youngblood and Robertson. It'll be 4th down. They spotted it at the 12, a loss of 3 for Harper. It's 4th down and 13 yards to go.
Brooks was the first man there. He's the leading tackler in that Ram defensive line. He's had 13 tackles this year, 2 sacks. Last year, he had 13 sacks to lead the team.
All right, Waddy and Bryant are deep. Parsons will punt it away from his own goal line. There's a snap, a low one, but he gets it away. And he hits a wobbler, not too deep. Let's see if it takes a bare bounce. It does. Across the 45, across the 50, and right there, Bashnagel and Schubert, and they finally fall on the ball near the Ram 45-yard line. So the Bears got a break as the kick took a bare bounce and crossed the 50-yard line. And with 1:13 left to go in the 3rd period, that's a 45-yard punt, by the way, for Mr. Parsons. The score remains with timeout on the field, the Rams 16, the Bears 14.
Round, round, get around, I get around, yeah, get around, brother, I get around, get around, I get around.
Now you get around better in the south suburbs, whether you're heading for Lincoln Mall or Park Forest Plaza, the Richmond Park IC station, or rapid transit to the Loop. You'll get around better because the RTA is expanding old routes and creating new ones. They're bringing buses to neighborhoods and places they've never served before, like Governor State University and the Granary. And to help you get acquainted with the new service and get around a little better, RTA's prepared a South Suburban Information Kit. To get yours, just write RTA 300 North State Street, Chicago, Illinois 60610, and ask for the South Suburban Kit. Once again, that's RTA 300 North State Street, Chicago, Illinois 60610. Now you know a better way to get around.
The ball has officially been spotted at the L.A. Ram 49-yard line. First down for the Rams. 1:13 to go in the 3rd period. 16-14 L.A. leading. Jackson wide left. Waddy wide to the right. Deuce backfield. And Namath, play action fake to McCutcheon. Big chase. Penalty flag thrown, and he goes down back at the 35-yard line. And this will be Holding call against the Rams will be declined. Wally Chambers with a quarterback sack along with Ron Rydell and Billy Newsom. They were all three there. So the Bears finally notch a quarterback sack on Freeway Joe Namath, and they will decline the holding call here.
Bears' first sack since the opener against Detroit when they had 6.
Holding was on Rich Saul, the offensive center, declined. And so the quarterback sack will stand up. It's marked at the 37-yard line, a loss of 12. It'll be second down and 22 yards to go. The Bear defense beginning to play like the Bears of old. Jackson wide to the near side. Wide to the right is Waddy. The backs are split about 8 yards apart. Namath trying to read the defense. Drops back to pass. Sets up. Throws it down the left sideline. Jackson comes in with the ball. He trapped it. Incomplete at the 41-yard line in Bear territory. Livers was covering on the play. He short-hopped it. As the ball was underthrown a bit, it'll be third down and 22 yards to go. The Rams back on their own 37-yard line. Namath is 12 of 29 for 185 yards. He's been dumped once now for a loss of 12. But you mentioned earlier, Avellini has only been sacked twice all year.
Offensive line for the Bears doesn't get enough credit. Of course, they've been doing a few changes there. Albrecht moving in place of Stevie, and I guess people get the idea they aren't that all solidified, and perhaps they're not.
Jackson was standing wide to the near side. Waddy split about 5 yards outside the tight end on the right. Deuce backfield. Namath back to pass on 3rd and 22. He throws a long one to the right side, and it's intercepted by Plank at the 30, the 35, the 40, 45, 50, 45, and knocked out of bounds at the Ram 42-yard line. Namath hung that one up. There were 2 Bear defensive backs with the receiver, and now what are they going to call? Penalty flag at the 25.
Rich Saul finally shoved them out of bounds.
I believe they're going to call pass interference on the Bears. Well, Ellis and Plank were both there. And that'll take away the 3rd interception of the night for the Bears. Well, I don't know.
Alan Ellis did bump the receiver.
I'd like to see that again. It looked like Waddy ran into Ellis.
The ball was underthrown, and I think what happened is that Ellis kept on going, and Waddy may have come back to get the ball, like you say. But he wasn't completely turned around, Joe. And
well, there's a very debatable call in my book, but the Rams have it now at the Bear 26-yard line. First down, Jackson wide to the near side. Wide to the right is Billy Waddy. The Bears have now been penalized 114 yards. To give the Capoletti, hit Beers to the right, crosses the 25, and gets down to the 22-yard line. Hartenstein made the tackle on the play. Second down coming up, 6 yards to go. Gary Fensick also had a helping hand on that. Fensick has really been in on a lot of tackles. Not big either. 6'1", 192 in his second year from Yale, although he's a local boy. Jackson wide to the left, Waddy wide right. Second down, 6. The Rams at the Bear 22. Namath back to pass, quick square out, intercepted and drop. Oh, Livers had a touchdown in his hand. Oh, baby. They read it beautifully, and Livers timed it. Cut right in front of Harold Jackson, and nothing but daylight in front of him.
No question about it. It was 7 points, would have put the Bears in the lead, but
a penalty has been called.
Livers' momentum, I think, was partly responsible for not.
Well, a 10-yard walk-off, another offensive holding call against that Ram front line. Another holding call. We've had at least 7 or 8 called tonight.
That's 7 penalties on the Rams for 65 yards now. They've had some decline.
Dennis Hara, the man guilty of using his hands illegally while trying to protect the passer. So it's second down and 16. The ball back to the Bears' 32-yard line. Waddy and Jackson, both wide. Deuce backfield. Namath to throw. Looking. Now throws down the middle. Now Plank intercepted at the 8-yard line. He's to the 15 to the 20, cuts back, and gets to the 25, still on his feet to the 29-yard line. That Plank's second interception of the ball game. The Bears' 3rd of the night.
That ball was underthrown by Joe Namath. The receiver was well behind Plank. Plank was playing short center field that time, and the ball came right to him. And that's the third turnover for the Rams. The Bears have had 4, 3 of which have led to Los Angeles scores. So far, no turnovers have led to a Bears score.
2 seconds left to go in the third quarter. And I guess they've called a timeout. We'll do likewise with a score. The Rams 16, the Bears 14.
There's a big difference between someone who talks a good game and someone who plays a good game. It's like that in football, and it's like that with beer. The brewers of Pabst Blue Ribbon don't just talk about taste. They challenge you to taste and compare Pabst with the beer you were drinking. They know that words like quality and heritage are just words unless the taste is there to back them up. And Pabst has the taste the others just talk about. They don't want you to take their word for it. They want you to take their challenge. Taste and compare Pabst with any other premium beer and find out for yourself that there's a big difference between beers that talk taste and Pabst. It delivers taste. Pabst. Since 1844, the quality has always come through.
Well, once in a while, Bradley, they'll throw a bone to us radio guys. We had missed a spot earlier when television had decided to take it, but they didn't realize it down on the sidelines, and they called the TV timeout with 2 seconds to go in the quarter, and we're back even again.
Yeah, but that means in 2 seconds you go to the refrigerator again, right?
All right, the Bears have the ball at their own 28-yard line. Scott wide to the near side. Rather split wide to the left. High formation. Cavallini looking right, now left. Taking a long time, and the give to the deep man, which is Walter Payton, and he is hit and smashed at the 29-yard line. Isaiah Robertson, who has been in on most of the plays defensively for the Rams tonight, made the tackle, and now the third quarter has come to an end, and they'll change ends. The Bears will have the win with them here in the fourth period, and the score after 3, the Rams 16, the Bears 14.
Your nearby Buick dealer proudly introduces the 1978 Buick Regal Sport Coupe with turbo power. There's never been a car like it. This new Buick Regal Sport Coupe is something to see, something to drive, and you can do just that at your Buick dealers right now. When you slide in behind the wheel, you immediately discover a new world of comfort and luxury. The interior is handsome, richly appointed, intelligently laid out. Unbelievable leg and knee room, front and back. The new rectangular dash panel puts all controls at your fingertips. Now then, start her up. Check out Regal's performance. Buick's exclusive new, even-firing, turbo-powered V6 engine is everything the car magazines say it is. There's just never been a car like this amazing new Buick Regal. A lot of science, a little magic. That's the 78 Buick Regal Sport Coupe. You'll want one from your Buick dealers of Chicagoland and northern Indiana.
Well, tighten up your seatbelts, everyone. 15 more minutes left to go in this one. 16-14 the Rams. But the Bears have the ball, 2nd and 9 at their own 29 as we get set for the fourth and final period.
Well, it should be interesting in the locker room after the game, win or lose for the Bears. Well, it would be nearly as interesting if the Bears should lose this ball game. Somehow I feel like they're winning the game. They're losing 16-14, but it's been a good, eventful game.
Goal line stand, interceptions.
There's been something for everyone, really. There's been too many turnovers, too many penalties, but it's been an interesting game, and it's been a close game. So from an interest standpoint, this ball game has all the ingredients. So we've got those 2 big bombs from Avellini to Scott. Hope to talk to both of those guys in the locker room, and of course Doug Plank.
Yeah, Plank's actually had 3 interceptions tonight. 1 was called back. 2 that will stand. Slot right, I formation. Avellini with a call on 2nd and 9. Fakes, play action fakes, rolls to his right, whips it downfield. Latta open, caught it. Goodwin got it back across the 50 to the Ram 48-yard line. Greg Latta looking for the handle, finally latched onto it. Rod Perry brought him down. First down for the Bears at the Ram 48-yard line. Latta's second catch of the night. Well, he was open, too. A 23-yarder.
He was open. Boy, it would have been a crime if he dropped that one. Bears haven't dropped passes tonight. Dropped an interception once, but haven't dropped passes.
Avellini threw that one while running, sprinting out to the right. A sprint-out pass. All right, Rather comes wide to the near side. Scott is put wide to the right. First down for the Bears in Ram territory. Long count by Avellini. Now looking to the left side. And to give to Walter Payton. And Payton is nailed right at the 50-yard line. Cody Jones submarine in there low and messed up the blocking, and Walter ran right into him. Second down. A loss of 2 on the play. It's 2nd and 12. The ball back on the 50-yard line.
Avellini 8 for 15 for 176 yards tonight. But again, 2 passes for 142 yards. That ate up a lot of yardage, those 2 bounds to James Scott. That's all the Bears have to show on the scoreboard so far, those 2 bombs.
Well, I'd like to see a little short 50-yarder now.
Little Walter Payton scamper, maybe?
Anyway, slot to the right, high formation. Back to pass, Avellini on 2nd and 12, square out, caught by Rather, and he's given a shove across the Ram bench and almost into the seat.
Had to hurdle that iron railing, which they have on the cement between the AstroTurf and the stand.
Monty Jackson kissed him goodbye at the sidelines, and they'll mark the ball at the 44-yard line in Ram territory. A pickup of 8. It'll be 3rd down and about 4 yards to go. Make it 5. 3rd down, a long 5.
Is that his first catch tonight, Rather?
Yeah, he had a beauty called back in the first half. Sizable gainer. Now Rather comes wide to the near side. Scott takes his place wide to the right. Deuce backfield of Payton and Harper. Avellini to throw. Sets up, throws it over the middle, and dumps it out of the flat. Caught by Latta. Struggles for the first down. Dragging Elmendorf with him to the 38-yard line. Greg Latta, the big tight end. First down for the Bears. Boy, he got just the yardage he needed, I believe. Noah Jackson was also down there to help him up. He drug Elmendorf for at least 3 yards.
Yes, they did. He looked like Robin Earl, didn't he? 6'3", 235 from Morgan State. Got a couple of big passes tonight. That's his 3rd catch tonight.
With 35 yards, and that was a big one. First down for the Bears at the Ram 38. 13:08 left to go in the game. The Rams lead it by 2, 16-14. There's been no scoring here in the second half. Scott standing wide to the near side. Rather wide to the right. Avellini hands off to Payton on a sweep to the right side. He's got a block by Noah Jackson at the 30, the 25, the 20, and out of bounds. Rod Perry forced him out. Now let's see where they mark the ball. It's at the 22-yard line, first down Bears. A 16-yard sweep to the far side by Walter Payton, who started to high-step it before he ran out of running room.
It was Reeve Story who led the interference for him, made the outside block, and Walter Payton cut inside of that. That's his first time he's gone real wide tonight. He's been looking closer to the end of the line, not too far to the outside, and they got a big gain there.
First down for the Bears at the Ram 22-yard line. Scott and Rather both come wide to the near left side in the slot. High formation, Harper and Payton. Avellini looking now, making the call. Quick pitch again to Payton. This time he cuts inside to the 20 to the 18-yard line before he's snowed under by about 4 L.A. Rams. Robertson and Brzezinski, the 2 outside linebackers, along with Cody Jones and Bill Simpson. And they mark it at the 19. A gain of 3. It's 2nd down and 7. And Payton now has assumed the rushing lead. After the 4th week of the National Football League, he has now picked up 78 yards with that carry, and that's what he needed. He is 1 yard in front of Lydell Mitchell,
right,
who picked up 142 yesterday. And Walter now has 415 yards. He missed the 4th game of the season. Slot left eye formation. 2nd down 7. The Bears at the Ram 19. Avellini with a long count. Gives to Harper. Harper spins up the middle and gets to about the 16-yard line. Now keep in mind, the Bears well within field goal range, and they have a favorable wind at their back. It'll be 3rd down coming up. Larry Brooks made the tackle on the last play. 3rd down and 5 at the Rams 16-yard line. 11:50 to go in the game. The Rams leading 16-14 with the Bears threatening to take it back. The Rams got off to a quick 13-0 start tonight. The Bears came back to take a 14-13 lead, and then their 4th turnover of the first half gave the Rams a chance to kick the field goal, which they did, and assume the lead again, and now the Bears are working on it. Avellini fake to Walter Payton, back to pass, looking, now dumps it over the middle, incomplete, but the man was there, Walter Payton, and that was a smart play by Avellini, who was really rushed by Brooks and Cody Jones and buried way back at the 30-yard line, but he saw Walter in the pile there and just threw it down low right at Walter's feet. So it's 4th down, Bashnagel in the hole, and Bob Thomas comes in to try for the go-ahead field goal. The line of scrimmage is the 16-yard line. It'll be a 33-yard kick. It'll be spotted at the LA 23. Rob Thomas.
4 to 5 from inside the 40.
Yeah. There's a snap a bit high. Bankstiegel gets it down. Thomas puts it up. That is good. A 33-yard field goal by Bobby Thomas. And with 11:20 to go in the game, the Bears have regained the lead at 17 to 16. They went 56 yards in 9 plays.
Wherever you may roam, you'll find our name is known. You can trust a Delco. Thanks, Delco. Delco Freedom Battery.
Delco's Freedom Battery is loaded with sealed-in cranking power, and you never have to add water. See your nearby AC Delco dealer about Freedom and about Delco's other fine batteries. You'll be thankful you did.
In Dyer, Indiana, visit Price Right Auto Parts on Hart Street. In Joliet, stopping at Hills Auto Supply. And in Schiller Park, see Schiller Park Auto Supply on Irving Park Road.
All across our land, people know our brand. You can trust AC. Thanks, AC. Spark plugs by AC.
If you need a tune-up, see your nearby AC Delco dealer about AC fire ring spark plugs. They can help restore your gasoline mileage and performance, and that's something to be thankful for.
In Whiting, Indiana, visit 41 Auto Supply on Indianapolis Boulevard. In Mokina, Illinois, see Mokina Auto on Wolf Road. And in Gary, stopping at Mid-States Auto Parts on Broadway.
Well, that's our third lead change here. The Bears have regained the edge at 17-16 with 11:20 to go. And Thomas has it teed up and puts the foot into the ball. Oh, he booms one. All the way back, Tyler. 4 yards deep. He's going to bring it out. He's to the 10. He's hit, anchored, and dumped at the 17-yard line. Art Best down to make the tackle along with Lenny Walterscheid. And the Bears are a fired-up group right now, helping each other up off the field. The Bears are beating the Rams on the scoreboard in the air and on the ground. They have 331 yards total to 301 for the Rams. The Bears have outpassed the Rams 200 to 185. They outrushed them 131 to 126. All right, the Rams have the ball at their own 16-yard line. Namath brings them up now. Waddy wide to the near side. Jackson standing wide to the left. Namath hands off to McCutcheon. You guys have turned the corner and does at the 20. And he's clotheslined at the 23-yard line. Billy Newsom over there almost tore his head off.
That's the first time, by the way, that the Los Angeles Rams have been scored upon in the fourth quarter. First time the defense has been scored upon. And it was a turnover that helped set that up. Actually, the turnover came deep in Bear territory. The interception by Plank, but that's evolved into the field goal for the Bears ahead.
2nd and 3 for the Rams at their own 23-yard line. A short 3, I formation. Jackson wide left, Waddy wide to the near side. The Bears change on the line. The give to McCutcheon. He's nailed for a loss at the 22-yard line. They tried to run it to the left side. The fake to Cappelletti to give to McCutcheon, and Billy Newsom there again to make his second big hit in this defensive series along with Wayman Bryant. No gain on the play. It's 3rd down. A long 3 yards to go. McCutcheon 71 yards and 21 carries, and they've been tough yards. Now Hartenstein was going to come out, has to come back. Jerry Meyer still the left defensive end. Slot to the near right side. 3rd down. 4 yards to go for the Rams at their own 23-yard line. Namath sets up the pass. Big rush. Throws it over the middle. It's caught by Cappelletti. He gets out to the 36-yard line. Buffon makes the tackle along with Reeves, the middle linebacker. Namath, avoiding the rush, dumped it over the middle, and it's a 1st down for the Rams. Rideouts really put the pressure on Namath coming right up the middle on the pass rush. They mark it at the 35-yard line, a pickup of 12, 1st down L.A.
Bears in a strong zone that time, which means Reeves goes to the weak side, and when Reeves departed, Namath found the man open over the middle.
Waddy wide to the near side. Wide left, Harold Jackson. Deuce backfield, tucked in behind the Ram offensive line, and Joe Namath. And Namath, fake, rolls to the left, fires it out there, and it's dropped by Harold Jackson at the 34-yard line. The fake handoff to McCutcheon, the swing pass out on the left flat to Jackson. I doubt if he would have gotten many yards because Fensick was already drawing a bead on him. It's 2nd down and 10. Hartenstein in, Myers out at defensive end. Namath is 13 of 32 for 197 yards. He has been dropped once.
Believe in omens. Last time the Bears beat the Rams, 1968, Los Angeles Coliseum. Final score, 17-16. Tonight it's 17-16. 9:13 to go.
Jackson standing wide left, Waddy wide to the near side. Second down 10. The Rams at their own 35-yard line. The fake to Capoletti. In the route. Here comes Jackson to the 35. To the 40. Knocked out of bounds by Gary Fensick at the 41-yard line. Jackson himself had to hurdle the Bear bench that time. So that's twice they've used the end around to a degree of success. Jackson picked up about 6 yards on the play. The first time they pulled it off, they almost scored a touchdown. And Don Reeves did indeed make a touchdown-saving tackle, as it turned out, on Billy Waddy.
What is it about Monday Night Football?
I don't know. I really don't.
It's national TV, Joe.
That has nothing to do with us. Slot left, deuce backfield, third down and 4. The Rams at their own 41-yard line. Namath retreats to pass. Has time. Throws it downfield, and it's knocked loose at the 45-yard line advanced territory. Again, it was Allen Ellis this time, along with Virgil Iverson, knocking away from the intended receiver, Harold Jackson. And he has been jarred loose from the football on 3 or 4 occasions tonight and dropped it a couple other times. So the Bear defense is held again, and there was a penalty flag on that play, and the Bears decline it. It might have been another offensive holding call. Steve Schubert will drop back in single punt safety, and the Bears will rush 10 men. Glenn Walker, the punter now, standing back at about the Ram 26-yard line, waiting to line it up. Schubert standing at the Bears 25-yard line. The Bears will rush 10 men. There's the snap. And they fall back. There's the kick. A very high, not too deep. Now it drifts to the right side. Schubert has to back up and make the fair catch at the 17 or 18-yard line. He got it up. Even though it was against the wind, it seemed to kind of explode after it got high in the air. A 40-yard punt, his best of the night. And with 8:52 to go in the game, the Bears get the ball back, leading 17-16. Joe McConnell and Brad Palmer back at Rockin' Soldier Field, where a sellout crowd watching the Bears right now, leading the Rams by 1. The Bears take over at their own 18-yard line. Slot to the near left side, deuce backfield. 8:52 to go in the game. Hand off to Walter Payton, and he tries the strong side sweep and gets knocked down short of the 20-yard line. A pickup of a yard as Larry Brooks, with some great lateral pursuit, knocked him down with help from Dave Elmendorf, the strong safety. Second down 9.
Rams have been doing a good job for the most part containing Payton from going outside. He's got most of his yardage inside, except on that last drive where the Bears got the go-ahead field goal. He did get outside. Really Sawyer made a great block, and Payton just read it beautifully and cut inside. But that's really the only time he's burned him wide.
Rather comes wide to the near left side. Scott standing wide to the right. Second down 9. The Bears on their own 19-yard line. Time now becoming a factor on the side of the Bears. They give to Walter Payton. He's going to try the sweep behind Noah Jackson. Cuts back in. Still on his feet. Cuts back in the 25. Running lateral into the 30. A couple of blockers in front of him to the 40. Heading for the far side. He's to the 50, the 45. The 40 still on his feet. 35-yard line and out of bounds. Inside the 30. A great run by Payton coming to the left side. Cutting back. Angling all the way to the right side with a company of blockers in front of him. Buddy Jackson finally ran him out of bounds. 56 yards for Walter Payton. The Rams had him shut off on the near side, but he cut back against the grain. When he got to the far side of the field, there they were, 4 Bear blockers out in front of him, and Walter picks up a big gain, goes over 100 yards for the 3rd time this season, and I believe the 15th time in his career. Make it the 12th.
12th. I'm sorry, you're right, the 12th. He had Zoe in front of him and Harper, and no, he didn't have Harper. Scott.
Was finally knocked out of bounds by Perry. The Bears had the ball in the Ram 29. And to give inside, and a penalty flag is thrown, I believe, and it's Roland Harper who gets to the 26-yard line. And Noah Jackson is beside himself. Apparently it's going to be an offensive holding call on Noah Jackson. Brzezinski made the tackle along with Larry Brooks. That would make it 122 yards in penalties against the Bears. Payton now has picked up 138 yards and 20 carries tonight. He had 145 against the Rams last year. Musso, who was in giving Walter a breather for one play, is back out, and Payton is back in the lineup. Well, it's back to the Ram 39, making it first down and 20 yards to go.
Well, Peyton opened up the season with 160 against Detroit, had 140 last week against the Saints, only 36 against the Cardinals. So, actually, he's got 138. It's the third best night of the year, but he's going to improve on that. We've still got 7:52 to go.
That was Walter, a 59-yard play-action fake. Avellini at the 37-yard line. Avellini rolling to the right side, chased out of bounds by Brodzinski. Revisori down on both knees, a little slow to get up. I don't know whether he's winded or whether he got the wind knocked out of him. A 3-yard gain by Avellini, rolling to the right. It'll be 2nd down and 17, 36-yard line. And again, the officials are having a confab. Avellini now listening to the conversation. Against the Rams. Apparently, the Rams were guilty of a penalty. It might have been roughing the passer. In this case, illegal use of hands was a 5-yard penalty. Is it a face mask? It's a first down for the Bears anyway at the 31-yard line. Defensive holding. Defensive holding on the Rams. The first down automatically for the Bears at the LA 31.
You betcha, my brother.
We have seen every type of penalty tonight I think we could possibly see.
No, we haven't seen offensive pass interference.
All right. I knew you were going to mention that. We had a year's supply of those last week. Scott wide to the left, rather wide to the right. Going to give up the middle, and it's Roland Harper veering to the right side, crossing the 30 down near the 27-yard line, where Dave Elmendorf made the tackle with help from Larry Brooks.
You know, this job can be fun sometimes.
Max Nagel was in for one play. He comes out and rather replaces it. The ball at the Ram 27-yard line, 2nd down, 6 yards to go. A pickup of 4 for Roland Harper.
7:21 to go in the football game. Bears lead it 17-16. An exciting, eventful football game. A little bit of everything. Except pass interference.
Offense. Scott wide to the left, rather in a slot to the near left side. Deuce backfield, split behind Avellini. Quick pitch now, and Peyton is still on his feet, gets back to the line of scrimmage somehow. Almost to the line. He lost a couple of yards. He ran right in to the linebacker,
Isaiah Robertson.
with Youngblood, Jim Youngblood, and somehow wriggled free and got back to the 29, a loss of 2 on the play. Fred Dreyer made the tackle, but they had him wrapped up 5-6 yards behind the line. Now Brodzinski leaves, and coming in is Pat Thomas, the 5th defensive back.
What do you mean, Jim Youngblood? It was Isaiah Robertson.
53-58. 3rd down.
My spotter told me.
8 yards to go. Wide to the right. Rather, wide to the near side. Scott. Deuce backfield. Avellini to throw on 3rd down and 8. Big rush. He's going to have to hurry. Still on his feet. Throws it down in the right corner of the end zone. Lana trying to get it. He's got a touchdown. He took it away. He took it away. From Monty Jackson. Great play. Greg Lana. And the Bears have scored again. 29 yards. Oh, what a catch.
You remember that catch that J.V. Kane made for the St. Louis Cardinals a couple of weeks ago? It was almost like that. It was deeper in the end zone, actually almost over the end line. Atlanta went up and 6 points for the Bears. They've got a 23-16 lead, and they're looking to pad the score.
Avellini did a great job of eluding the rush. He was chased by Youngblood, and he threw it on the move. Atlanta simply out-muscled and out-jumped Monty Jackson for the touchdown. That's Greg's 2nd 6-pointer of the year, and Avellini's 3rd touchdown toss tonight. Now Thomas will try for the all-important extra point. There's the kick. It's good! And the Bears have taken a 24-16 lead over the LA Rams. They went 82 yards in 4 plays. Peyton's 59-yarder setting it up, and with 6:08 to go in the game, the Bears lead it by 8. 24-16, the Bears lead the Los Angeles Rams with 6:08 to go in an amazing football game here at Soldier Field. Wendell Tyler is deep as Thomas gets set to kick it off, and the Rams are going to put it in the air now. You'd better believe they've got to score twice to catch the Bears in the final 6:08.
Fred Barber would say, "Whoa, doctor."
Where did you dig that one up?
Out of my morgue file, my baseball almanac.
Univac apologies. We've got apologies from Univac over here. 6 plays, 82 yards. There's the kick. Thomas hammers it. Boy, he's got the adrenaline driving. Tyler at the 1-yard line. From behind the wedge to the near side of the 15, looking for running room at the 20. Hit, hops away, gets across the 25, and is driven out of bounds by Brian Bashnagel at the 28-yard line. First down for the Rams. Namath is 13 of 33 for 197 yards, and Joe will be winging them now.
You realize the Rams came in here having given up 31 points in 3 games. They've given up 24 points already. Well, you better realize it. This is something else. Bears were a 6-point dog. They're up by 8 with 5:57 to go.
Jackson wide to the near side. Waddy standing wide to the left. Deuce backfield of McCutcheon and Capiletti. And Namath will throw. Sets up. Throws over the middle. And there's a battle for the ball. Fensick has it. Intercepted. Fensick at the 37-yard line. He literally took it away. He took it away from Charlie Young. Interception, Greg Fensick. And the Bears have the ball now at the Rams 37-yard line.
Fensick 6'1" and 192, and what are the odds that he's going to take it away from Charlie Young, 6'4", 235, but he did. Wow, now you know why Fensick's playing strong safety. That kid's doing a job. Second year out of Yale.
You better believe he's doing a job. He was the last man cut by Don Shula's Miami Dolphins a year ago. He joined the Bears right at the tail end of the year and got into one ball game, and he has earned himself a starting slot over the last 3 weeks with an outstanding defensive play. Now the Bears have it at the Rams 37-yard line.
Fourth turnover on the Rams now.
The fourth interception. The Bears have jumped from 2 to 6 on the year. High formation, one man wide to the right. Both ends are in tight. The give to Payton, and he cuts inside of the 35 and scrambles to the 34-yard line. Cody Jones made the tackle on the play. It's 2nd down and 7, and Bo Rather comes back in. 5:37 to go. The Bears leading 24 to 16 and on the prowl for more at the Ram 34-yard line. Namath has been intercepted 4 times tonight. 2 by Plank, and actually Doug had a third one called back on a pass interference that was questionable. Doug Buffone got one, and now Gary Fensick just took that ball right away from the tight end, Charlie Young. Slot to the near left side, I formation. 2nd down, 7. The Bears at the Ram 34. Quick pitch. Here comes Walter to the left side. Spins around Harper. Cuts back in. At the 34, penalty flag as he spun around and dropped. Monty Jackson, the cornerback, made the tackle on the play. Let's see what the call is going to be there. Holding. Offensive holding on the Bears again. They may survive 132 yards penalties because that's what they have right now.
I got to toot my horn. You know, during the pregame show, we were talking about Doug Plank returning, and he's the kind of guy who makes things happen. The Bear defense hasn't been making anything happen this year. Plank's the Keith Magnuson of this team, and he's got 2 interceptions. The Bears have 4 interceptions. They had only 2 all year.
I'm going to shatter a myth right now. You got that from Pardee. You'll never take me to practice again.
I forgot. Is that what I got?
James Scott was the man guilty of the infraction there.
I got it from Fred O'Connor, and he told me not to tell.
2nd down, 18. The ball at the Ram 45-yard line. Slot to the right. High formation. The Bears leading by 8 late in the 4th period. Avellini, play action fake, bootlegs to the right. Big chase by Youngblood. He's going to run. He's to the 45, the 40, 35 and out of bounds to the 34-yard line. Bob Avellini looking better and better each and every game. And he has been some cool cookie tonight.
A lot of cool cookies out there tonight, I'll tell you that.
Well, Avellini, 32 yards and 3 carries. And has not been sacked tonight. He has been in trouble several times and managed to avoid the rush. Now here comes Johnny Musso, the Italian stallion from Alabama, in giving Walter Payton a breather.
I can't wait to read my morning newspaper. I want to see how the writers are going to handle this after writing the Bears off a week ago.
3rd down, 7 yards to go. Don't be unkind to the writers, Fred.
I like the writers, but I'm a little surprised at some of the things that were written.
Slot to the left. Deuce backfield to give to Harper, right up the middle, and he barges his way down to the 30-yard line.
We aren't supposed to overreact in this business, Joe. It's up to the fans to get emotional and overreact. Sometimes we're too realistic, and people take exception to it. They think we're pessimistic, when they're really trying to be realistic. But
Simpson made the tackle on the play, and one of the Rams is down at the Ram 32-yard line. Now the field goal unit comes in on 4th down, 3 yards to go from the Ram 30. This would be a 47-yard attempt for Bobby Thomas with a prevailing tailwind. Isaiah Robertson, who's been outstanding tonight, is the man who is shaken up on the play. He had one fumble recovery, an intercepted pass on a deflection, all coming in the first period. He's been in on many tackles, and he's going to have to be helped up. Ricky Kay will be his replacement. Let's take a timeout while they have this injury. This is the score here at Soldier Field. The Bears 24, the Rams 16. All right, it's 4th down, 3 yards to go. Thomas to try a 47-yarder. There's a snap. The ball is down. The kick by Thomas has plenty of distance. No good. Wide to the left. Oh, he looked like he hit it very well, but it drifted wide to the left. And so the Bears come up empty there after Fensick's great interception. 4.5 minutes to go. The Rams are down to about their last shot. They've got to score on this possession. They trail 24-16. The Bears about scored them 24-3 since the start of the ball game.
I think our honeymoon with the writers is over. They're about to storm the booth. Just kidding out there, right?
All right, the Rams line it up. Scales wide to the near side. But wide to the left is Waddy. And Namath hands it off to McCutcheon. Trying the left side. Penalty flag is thrown. McCutcheon cuts back against the grain. Still on his feet across the 40, the 45 to about the 47-yard line. A penalty flag was thrown on this side of the field at the 33-yard line. Wayman Bryant made the tackle on the play. And let's see what the call is going to be. Well, it's against the Bears. Offside, so the play will stand. I look down as they hurt. Doug Buffone apparently shaken up. Let's pause right now for station identification. Well, the offside penalty against the Bears declined, and Doug Buffone, the 11-year veteran who came up with his 19th career interception tonight, is shaken up on the play. Doug battled back after Achilles tendon surgery a year ago, was injured in the second game out in San Francisco, and many people thought his career was over. Now, he's still down out there now, and this would be a tremendous blow to the Bears if his injury was to be serious. And right now, it appears that it's no slight matter. He is still down. Now, Jerry Muckensturm comes in. He is Doug's backup at left side linebacker.
The crowd tonight is 51,412. That means there's about 5,000 no-shows here tonight, but considering the whole first half was played in the rain, it's not bad.
They missed themselves one heck of a football game. Didn't start out that way as far as the Bears were concerned, but they finally got it turned around. That first touchdown bomb from Avellini to Scott woke them up, and they have dominated play since.
Well, I bet they didn't miss the game, Joe. They're probably watching the tube and listening to us talk about it.
Well, Buffone is being helped up. Let's see if he's mobile. That's the key here. And he apparently is. He's a little groggy. And Doug Buffone will come off of the near sidelines, but the thing you look for is to see whether his legs and arms are all right, because that's a crippling injury that could sideline him for quite some time. Roland Harper comes out to help him.
Yeah, he's pretty well shaken up, and of course Muckensturm's coming off of surgery as well. He hasn't seen that much action. Brubacher no longer with the Bears. People forget he's gone.
He was a leading pass interceptor a year ago.
He was.
All right, Namath brings them up. First down at their own 45, make it the 45-yard line. It's almost the 46. And Namath back to pass, swings it out the right flat to Jackson. Behind the line of scrimmage, being boxed in and buried on the near sideline to the 48-yard line. Muckensturm and Ellis played it beautifully. The little hitch pattern to the wide receiver on the near right flat, Harold Jackson, goes for about a 2-yard gain at second down and a long 8, almost 9. The Rams are going to have to hurry. 4:13 to go. Jackson wide to the right. Waddy standing wide to the left. Now the officials suspend play for a second. Now they line him up. Namath bends over Rich Saul, veteran offensive center from Michigan State. And he gives to McCutcheon right up the middle across the 50 in the Bear territory, where he's anchored at the 47-yard line by Muckensturm. And he's quickly made 2 tackles after coming into the ball game, and now Rich Saul is down. Rich Saul is shaken up on the play. Ron Rideouts comes in for the Bears. You know, we played all night without an injury, and all of a sudden we have them almost back-to-back, Brad.
He played with a lot of things tonight. 4 turnovers on each team. Bears have intercepted 4 passes. Bears have committed 3 fumbles and have had 1 pass intercepted.
The one thing about Namath, everyone talks about what a great quarterback Namath is, pure passer and all that, and I wouldn't argue that. He's won a lot of big ball games in his time, but he has always been prone for the interception. Coming into this game tonight, he had been intercepted 216 times with 4 pickoffs for the Bears secondary tonight. That's 220 career interceptions. Touchdown passes, on the other hand, he has thrown 3 so far this season. That gives him 173. So he's had far more passes intercepted than he has scoring tosses in his illustrious career.
Sure, but he had a lot of lean years with the Jets when he didn't have guys like Emerson Boozer and McConnell to set up that running game for him. Right before was hit on the chin. He's a little groggy, but the Bears expect us to have him back in the game. So that's good news.
As a matter of fact, he is back in the game.
Thank you.
And Muckensturm, with a 2-play relief effort, got tackles on both plays. All right, it's third down, 2 yards to go. The Rams at the Bear 46-yard line. Both ends are in tight. Long count by Namath. And he's going to throw it. There's that quick square, and he throws it away. Intended for Dwight Scales. That play has worked twice tonight when they fake into the line and throw the slant on the right flat, and that time he threw it away. It'll be 4th down, 2 yards to go at the Bear 46-yard line. 3:44 remaining. Namath is 14 for 36, good for 194 yards. Now Chambers and Spivey come in, replacing Reeves and Stillwell. 4th down, 2 yards to go. 3:44 remaining in the ball game. The Bears leading 24-16. Clock left. Deuce backfield. Namath on 4th and 2. Back to pass. Throws. And it's tipped away. Incomplete. And Livers would have intercepted it, but Scales grabbed him on the play. The Bears take over. Well, on that play, although it'll never show up, Dwight Scales may have saved the touchdown because Livers cut right in front of him, had deflected the ball, was trying to run after it when Scales reached out and held it.
That's right. That's almost Livers' second touchdown. Second almost touchdown. He almost picked one off a little earlier, in which case he would have gone all the way, but he dropped the football. So 3:39 to go in the football game. The Bears have the football, and they've got an 8-point lead, 24-16.
Well, they're going to play with a clock now. Scott comes over wide to the near side, and Rather split wide to the far right side. Peyton and Harper in the backfield. Peyton has gone over the century mark for the 3rd time this year, the 11th in his career. And he tries the right side and goes down for a loss of 3 back at the 43-yard line as Jack Youngblood submarined in there low, wiped out the blocker, and made the tackle on the play. 2nd down, 13. The Bears at their own 43-yard line, and they're going to take plenty of time between plays.
Jack Youngblood, an All-Pro, had 3 sacks in this year's Pro Bowl back in January. No relation to Jim Youngblood, is playing a middle linebacker in place of Jack Reynolds, who is a holdout. Jim Youngblood was at left linebacker. He's moved over to the middle until Reynolds comes back. He's got to take a few weeks to play himself back into shape. Bob Brodzinski out of Ohio State, the #1 draft pick, playing at left linebacker.
Spot left, and the give now to Harper. Tries the right side across the 45, gets the yards back that they lost, and maybe an extra one as he gets to the 47-yard line. Bill Simpson made the tackle, help from Jim Youngblood. It'll be 3rd down and 9, and the Rams stop the clock with 2:49 to go. Now they have 2 timeouts remaining, plus the 2-minute warning, so play will be stopped at least 3 more times. Avellini comes over to the near sidelines to talk with Jack Pardee. The Bears have to be more excited right now than they've been at any other time this season. Scott wide to the near side. Rather split wide to the right on 3rd down and 10. The Bears at their own 46-yard line. Avellini on a draw, and Peyton gets to the 50-yard line. Jim Youngblood finally collared him and brings him down. And so it's going to be 4th down and about 6 yards to go. And Peyton now at 144 yards and 25 carries and comes off on the near sidelines along with his offensive teammates. Right at the 50-yard line, the Bears will kick it away with 2:41 to go. And the Rams apparently have called another timeout, which means they have only one remaining.
Really?
Colin Bryant will drop back in single punt safety, Brad.
How do you figure the NFL? I mean, we've had all sorts of surprises already this year. The Bears think out the place against the Saints a week ago. Horrible football, drop passes. Actually, they've had the penalties again tonight. They've had the missed tackles, not as many and not as many critical missed tackles as a week ago. Still had them. But they stopped the Rams 4 to 5 times inside the 15-yard line, kept them out of the end zone 4 to 5 times. The Rams got some field goals out of it. But the Rams scored all but 3 of their points in the first 11 and a half minutes in this football game. So the Bears have really stymied them ever since the beginning of the, late in the first quarter.
In the Rams' longest drive was 54 yards. All right, Parsons in to punt. The Rams will rush 10 men. Now they drop another one off the line. There's the snap, and the rush is on, and Parsons gets it away, and he hangs a beauty. Bryant's going to let it go, and it bounces into the air, and the Bears try to save it. They can't do it. The Schubert got down there, but he was a yard or two deep across the goal line, tried to throw it back out. A 50-yard punt by Bob Parsons. He couldn't quite get it into the corner, and I believe that's the first time this year that Parsons has hit a ball into the end zone. And the touchback will put the ball at the 20-yard line. The Rams 80 yards away, 8 points down, and 2:31 to go.
Well, it's going to be a lot easier going to Minnesota on Sunday with a victory than it would have been with a loss. If they'd lost tonight, this game could have been the turning point.
Now, a young man who was just activated, Freeman Johns, is wide to the left, and they have a slot to the right. So they have 3 wide receivers in there. Reeves wanted a red dog, now backs out of there. Long count by Namath. He sets up the pass. Swings it out of the right flat, and Cappelletti makes the catch at the 16 to the 20, 25, and out of bounds at the 28-yard line. To stop the clock, Gary Fensick again forcing him out. The Bears are going with a 5th defensive back now as Bill Spivey runs out there. 2:25 to go in the game. It'll be 2nd down and 2, the Rams at their own 28-yard line. Namath has gone over the 200-yard mark with 15 of 38 for 202. Now Johns comes wide to the near side. And it's a slot left with Scales and Waddy. 2nd down 2. Namath, back to pass. Has time. Over the middle. Dropped, incomplete. Jackson let it slide right through his hand.
And Livers was there again, and it just went by him, evaded him. He's been so close to 3 interceptions tonight.
Harold Jackson must be hearing footsteps out there, the way he's reacting, because he has dropped several balls tonight. Now Fensick comes back in after a breather for one play, and Don Reeves comes off.
Well, I guess we better ask for the real Chicago Bears to stand up. This is a team that everybody thought they had when the season began, and of course they didn't have it until tonight.
All right, Jackson wide to the near side, Scales in the slot. Johns wide to the left, back to pass. Namath swings it out to Cappelletti again, looking for the first down. Rumi. Well, we'll have to wait and see where they mark the ball. They got across the 30. They're marking it at the 29. It'll be 4th and 1. He was knocked out of bounds on a good, strong play by Alan Ellis, the cornerback, along with Doug Buffone, who was shaken up a few moments ago. And they denied him the first down yardage. They got only a yard on the play. It'll be 4th down and 1. The Rams back on their own 29-yard line with 2:14 to go. The Bears lead it 24 to 16 after trailing 13-0 early in the ball game.
Yeah, one more Rams score and it would have been lights out, I think. Came so close to getting blown out of this football game.
Well, it's a 60-minute game, and sometimes it takes 4 hours to play. All right, Jackson wide to the left. Scales wide to the near side. Deuce backfield on 4th and 1. They give to Cappelletti. He's got the first down as he breaks a tackle at the line of scrimmage and squirms in heavy traffic up to the 33. Stillwell had him pinned around the leg and finally got help from a second teammate to put him down. But the Rams keep possession of the ball with a first down at the 33. Fensick was also the helper on the tackle. And now the 2-minute warning. He's being given to both benches with a score. The Bears 24, the Los Angeles Rams 16.
Well, Brad, I know one guy that's going to be hard to live with this week.
Who's that?
Pop Dietrich. 13 out of 14 this week he picked.
Yeah, that puts him ahead in the office pool.
The only one he missed was the Houston-Pittsburgh game.
I think I'm going to look over his shoulder.
All right, the Rams have it first down. At their own 33-yard line, they have one timeout remaining, 2 minutes to play, and they trail by 8. Slot right, back to pass, Namath. Looking, runs up, grab, goes down, penalty flag thrown. The Bears will undoubtedly decline it. Jerry Myers and Roger Stillwell with the Bears' second quarterback sack of the night. And the penalty against the Rams is declined. Well, our spotter tonight, Pat Benkowski, who's had a busy evening. Our stat man, Univac Dave Milberg. Our studio producers, Bob Dieterich and Dave Ennett. And our executive producer, Rich King. Along with our engineer here, Harry McIntyre. Weird Harry, as he's known in certain parts of Chicago, Denver, and other places.
Weird Harry?
Yeah. Anybody that get on a bike and go cross country is...
You're right. Well, the Bears are... I'll talk a little bit here. Come back to the line of scrimmage.
All right, second out, 16. Namath has been jolted for the second time behind the line of scrimmage. Slot right. And Scales is wide to the left. Namath back to pass. And the rush is on again. He throws just as he's hit a wobbler, and it's incomplete. As Scales waited for it, couldn't come back for it, and fell incomplete. We got a fight. Tom Mack gets involved in it, along with McCutcheon, Bryant, and Namath was shaken up, and that's why. He's being helped up. He's very slow to get up, and we got a real Donnybrook down there. The Bears really put the heat on Namath again, and Wayman Bryant and Dennis Hara, I believe, are the guys who are down there involved in the wrestling match. Namath is still on the AstroTurf at the 17-yard line. And he's holding his knee. Namath is holding his knee. Well, Doug Plank was also down there, and you might expect any time there's any extracurricular activity in the field of play and Doug Plank's around, he's going to be at least a part of it. Well, Joe Namath has had a long and frustrating night after it started so promisingly for him and the Los Angeles Rams.
Looks like Dennis Harris still wants a piece of somebody. Now he's walking off the field.
And Namath appears to be all right. The flag was thrown apparently at the 16-yard line. I wouldn't be at all surprised if it's going to be a roughing the passer penalty against the Bears. Just a throwback here to a few years ago. I believe it was Jimmy Osborne that really hit him, although there were a couple of guys in there.
He got sandwiched by two guys in there.
Wayman Bryant, I believe, yes.
Osborne and Bryant, and then Dennis Hara went after Wayman Bryant, and then Osborne got in there and threw a right hand, and then it was 3-on-2. The Rams had the one-man advantage in that little pile-up.
Tom Mack joined the fun.
Namath, of course, has had 4 knee operations. He's playing with a torn hamstring. His hamstrings are rolled up like window shades.
Roughing the passer is the call. And I'm not sure I agree with that call. He had just released the ball.
Well, Bryant might have come in a little late from the other side. Osborne was not, I think they called it on Bryant because Osborne...
Well, I'll tell you what, I've seen a couple of hits a lot later than that tonight that weren't called. Now, Buffone is out there talking with the officials. They have kept the teams at least 10 or 15 yards apart so that it won't reoccur here.
You haven't seen any not called that involve Joe Namath?
No. Offsetting penalties. Roughing the passer against the Bears and probably a personal foul against Mr. Hara, who threw the first punch.
Well, the Bears are 2-2, or will be 2-2 shortly, which is where...
They'll run that one over again, Brad. It's second down and 16 after all of that. Johns comes wide to the near side. Slot to the left. And the quarterback now is Pat Hayden, the Rhodes Scholar from Southern Cal. Throws over the middle, caught by Harold Jackson. Double teamed and dropped at the 40-yard line. Spivey got a piece of him with help from Doug Buffone. And so Pat Hayden completes his first pass attempt of the year. A 13-yarder, and the Rams line up without a huddle as soon as Jim Osborne gets back across the line of scrimmage to the defensive side. Pat Hayden, who led the Rams so brilliantly last year in his rookie year. Back to pass, throws again over the middle, tipped away by Livers, incomplete. Oh, the Bears secondary has looked absolutely spectacular tonight in the final 3 periods of this ball game. They have broken up more passes tonight than they did in the first 3 games put together.
Livers has been all around the football. That's almost the 4th time he could have intercepted the ball. It still hasn't intercepted one, but he's been very close to doing so. Bears have 4 interceptions, which doubles their output in the first 3 games. In fact, Alan Ellis had both of them against St. Louis.
Well, it triples it, actually, from 2 to 6.
Well, they had 2, and they got 4 tonight. That's what I meant to say.
I know. Slot right. Back to pass. Hayden ducks under. Jimmy Osborne rolls to the right, gets away from Hartenstein, cuts backwards by Buffon, and slides to the 48 or 9-yard line. Roger Stillwell finally touched him down. Well, Hayden certainly is a lot more mobile than Freeway Joe Namath. It's first down for the Rams at their own 48-yard line, and they're trying to line up without a timeout or a huddle. Billy Newsom finally lumbers off on the near sideline. The Bears are dropping everyone off the line now. Back to pass. Hayden sets up, throws over the middle, and it's caught by Scales running laterally inside the 40 to the 36-yard line before he's filled.
Jerry Myers was offsides, but the Rams, of course, will decline it.
Virgil Ivers with a stop. And now the Rams are going to have to, are they going to take their final timeout? The officials just stopping the clock to move the chains. 51 seconds to go in the game. The Bears leading 24-16.
Well, if the Rams were to strike suddenly and try an onside kick, they're still
it's not over yet, folks. Now Newsom hustles back out there. Well, Namath apparently got the brunt of that blow in the chest. I can recall my first year as a big league broadcaster in Denver during the Bronco games in 1969, a series of pictures that were flashed all around the world when Dave Costa buried his helmet in Namath's breastbone just as he was releasing a pass. He was knocked out. They stopped the game for 3 minutes. He didn't move for a couple of minutes. He got up and led the Jets, then the world champions, into their only touchdown of the day. Back to pass. Hayden scrambling. Sack by Jimmy Osborne at the 46-yard line. Jimmy Osborne with his second quarterback sack and his 42nd in his career. And that's the 3rd one for the Bears tonight. And a penalty flag is thrown at the 36-yard line.
Actually, he was one of 3 in on a previous sack tonight as well. Boy, 3 sacks tonight.
Well, I think you can erase that one.
Yeah.
Another penalty against the Bears. They're going to survive this one in spite of themselves in some areas.
This is the first time Pat Hayden has thrown the ball in the regular season. He got in for a series against the 49ers last week and got sacked one time.
Offsides. Osborne was offside. That's why he was back there so quick. First down and 5 for the Rams at the Bear 32, and the Bears have been penalized 142 yards, 15 penalties. Slot right. Back to pass, Pat Hayden. Looking, steps in front of Osborne, throws, and it's incomplete. And Doug Plank caught it on the bounce. Harold Jackson was the intended receiver on a quick slant in over the middle. That stops the clock with 43 seconds to go. 11:27 here in Chicago. Now Rod Phillips comes back in. He was in for 1 carry, and oddly enough, it was a 4th and goal line situation just outside the Bear 1-yard line, and he was stopped. There were so many big plays for the Bears in this ballgame tonight, it would be impossible to single out 1 or 2 as being the entire story tonight. All right, Johns wide to the left, Scales inside of Jackson and a slot to the right. And Phillips and McCutcheon are the running backs. Hayden, quick lob down the left side, incomplete. Intended for Johns, and he was really roughly bounced over there by Doug Plank. That was what you call a go pattern, as Hayden stepped back about 2 steps and just floated one to the left sidelines, hoping that Johns could run under the ball. That's a favorite pass of Fran Tarkington, particularly in short yardage situations. 3rd down, 5 yards to go. The Rams still trying at the Bear 32-yard line with 39 seconds to go. The Bears leading by 8, 24-16.
Bryant's on the sideline. I don't know if he was ejected or no announcement on it.
I can't say for sure. I think the Bears are just going with a prevent defense here. Back to pass. Hayden setting up deep. Throws over the middle, tipped by Spivey and knocked out. Intended for Jackson and Spivey, reaching out with the left hand, tipped it away at the 18-yard line. It'll be 4th down, 5 yards to go. The rookie, Mike Spivey, breaks up his first NFL regular season pass. He had 1 interception in the preseason and played well. In fact, he started 6 of the 7 preseason games because Virgil Livers suffered a hyperextended knee injury the very first day of camp and missed the first 4 weeks of the preseason.
Bryant was ejected from the game.
All right.
Gary Campbell, his backup, is in there at the outside cornerback. They're going with 2 outside cornerbacks.
Penalty against the Bears. Defensive holding on Spivey. And so the Rams have the ball at the 26-yard line. Now that's a 6-yard penalty. Another flag against the Bears. So the Rams have it 1st down and 10 at the 26-yard line, 33 seconds to go. Slot right. Johns wide to the left. Back to pass. Hayden throws one in the end zone. And it is caught for a touchdown by Dwight Scales, who made a great catch right by Virgil Livers, took the ball away 8 yards deep in the end zone, and the Rams have scored with 27 seconds to go, and Hayden took him in.
Well, it's time for an onside kick. Rams now can pull within 1 point again of the Bears with the conversion. It's 24-22, 27 seconds to go, so onside kick's going to be interesting anyway.
Yep. 27 seconds to go. Septien will try for the extra point that would make it a 1-point game. There's the snap. Cromwell puts it down. The kick is up, and it is good. And we've got a 24-23 score here at Soldier Field with 27 seconds to go. And you can bet all the sure-handed Bears are going to be up on the front line awaiting this onside kick by the Rams. And they're going to huddle up over in front of Chuck Knox across the way. 80 yards in 10 plays. And Mr. Hayden has done all right since he came into the ball game.
He got by Virgil Livers that time in the cover, just sort of muscled his way in front of him. And made a good catch in the end zone for the touchdown.
Hayden is 2 for 5 for 40 yards, including the last 27 to Dwight Scales. Just made his 3rd reception of the year, his first touchdown. And it's a 24-23 Bear lead. The Bears, of course, expect the onside kick. It's the only chance the Rams have. Now, the Rams are trying to get a line. 27 seconds to go. And Septien nudges it down the right side, and the Bears follow the ball. Big pile up at the 50-yard line. The Rams say they have it.
The Bears think they have it. I thought a Ram fell on the ball, but he may not have had possession before he slid out of bounds on the wet turf. Plank says the Bears have it.
And the Bears do. And that should just about end any hopes the Rams had with 27 seconds to go. The Bears recover that onside kick. It was across the way right in front of the Ram bench. There was no way we could see who actually came up with the ball.
I thought for a moment the Rams had the ball. Now, whether or not the man who fell on it went out of bounds or squirted out, I don't know. It did elude one Bear.
Yes, it did. It got by the first man.
I do know.
And I believe maybe Jerry Campbell may have knocked the ball out of bounds, and if so, that's what saved it for the Bears. They have it at their own 47-yard line.
A Ram did fall on it, but it squirted out again. So it eluded a Bear, then a Ram, and the Bear finally got it.
Well, Avellini will take the dive. And we may have another fight on our hands. The Rams, obviously a very frustrated ball club, and you know, the loss tonight, Jack Youngblood, the man who is trying to fire up against Greg Latta, the tight end, and the officials call a timeout to stop the clock, and the Rams use a 3rd and final timeout with 19 seconds to go. This will be the last play of the ball game coming up. A loss tonight will drop the Rams a full game behind the Atlanta Falcons, who are 3-1 and off to a great start, despite the fact that they have not been able to put many points on the board. Scott Hunter, remember him? He's the quarterback down in Atlanta now that Bartkowski suffered another knee injury.
Well, the Rams lost down there, of course, in the first game of the season. Bears 2-2, and they didn't figure to be any better than 2-2 at this stage. In fact, the reason for all the optimism was the schedule, but the first 5 games for the Bears is the toughest part of their schedule. They had that game at St. Louis. They've got this game tonight against the Rams. They've got a game coming up against the Vikings. The Bears can be 2-3 and have maintained this all along. If they can go 2-3, they got a 50-50 shot at the playoffs. Maybe a little better than 50-50. However, at least that's what I thought before the season. But some of those teams that you thought were going to be patsies aren't patsies anymore. They got to go down to Houston. Pretty good ball club. Atlanta's coming in here. They're a pretty good ball club now. So the schedule may not be as soft as everybody thought it would be.
The thing that makes the Bears the toughest to predict is the fact they've got so many youngsters on that club. All right, Abilene takes the snap from center and just falls down, and this time the entire Bear ball club standing around, and that should just about do it. And the Bears will celebrate a one-point win, their first over the Rams since 1968. And that one was a one-point win out of the Coliseum. The crowd chanting out the final seconds. The game is over, and the Bears have upset the Los Angeles Rams on Monday Night Football here at Soldier Field. The final score tonight, as the Bears pull even on the year at 2-2. They trail the Minnesota Vikings by just one game in the NFC Central Division standings. The Bears upset the Rams 24-23.